Games here of the Big 33, and they've got a lot of stars again this year. And Jerome, they got three that stand out among the 33. Let's talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, let's start off with outside linebacker Samaj Bridgman. He comes from Emotep Charter. Anybody that knows Pennsylvania football knows that Emotep from the East has done a really good job with football here in Pennsylvania. He's headed to the University of Michigan. He's an Adidas All-American and first-team All-State performer for Pennsylvania. Then you have Kenny Johnson, and when you're talking about getting the ball downfield, you got to get it to your playmakers, and Kenny Johnson is one of them. He's headed to the University of Pitt, and he is also one of those players that you can get going where you need to get going, and he's an All-American as well. Then you have Riley Robel from Bishop McDevitt. He's headed to James Madison University, and anyone that knows, James Madison made the jump from FCS to FBS playing with the big boys. So he's getting an opportunity to play FBS football at James Madison, who did very well last year. And he's Mr. Football Lineman of the Year and All-State performer for Pennsylvania.
Well, let's find out who the Pennsylvania head coach is. He's Mike Farr, and he's down on the sideline right now with Mark McKenzie.
We're here with Mike Farr, the head coach of the Big 33 Pennsylvania team. Coach, on your normal day job, you're talking with a team that has some advantages and disadvantages. In this particular team, they're all all-stars.
Well, they're all elite athletes. So, we have a lot of Division I football players on this field today. So, for coaches, all you have to do is we put them in the right spots, let them go play. There are obviously some strategy, but ultimately let them go show their talent.
Let's talk a little bit about the strategy. There are rules changes for this particular game. So is it maybe more than a regular game, or you tell me, man on man?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, strategy-wise, you have to be in the confines of the defense that you're allowed. You're not allowed to blitz. You're not allowed to stunt. You have to play man-to-man free. So there are situations and strategy where by formation you have to find out where the weakness is.
Now, would that make the game more exciting to watch?
This game's going to be exciting either way. So everyone's in for a good one tonight.
And let me ask you one final question about, team building. I mean, that's a year-long process for you normally. You have a handful of days here to make this happen.
Well, again, they all know the prize. The prize is, playing for the state of Pennsylvania. So, again, when you have elite athletes, they understand the mission. They bond very quickly because they know that's what it takes.
Excellent. Coach Farr, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, they have met the coaches and a few of the players, but these players are chomping at the bit to get this one started, and we're going to bring it to you in just a few moments. When we come back from the break, though, you're going to meet the executive director of the Big 33. He is Garrett Goethel. Mark will be talking to him when we come back. Welcome to
welcome back.
Tenzio Stadium on the campus of Bishop McDevitt. We are ready to get underway for the 66th Big 33 Football Classic. Gary Sutton, Jerome Presley, Mark McKenzie with you, and we are ready to kick off. Alan Zhao sends it deep, all the way down near the 4-yard line where it's going to be dropped for a moment. And Pennsylvania will have the first down at the 20-yard line. And Jerome, 66 times this thing's now been played. It's kind of unbelievable. Started back in 1957.
Yeah, I mean, 66 times. And you see and you know the athletes that have played in this game over the years, decades, and, you know, they come back. They come back to visit. They come back to look at and check out the players that are playing. It's always a good festive event for Pennsylvania and for Maryland coming here to Pennsylvania.
Colin O'Sullivan starting the quarterback here for Pennsylvania. Rolls left, looks out, has a man out in the flat. Nice pass there, gets out the first down and a little bit more.
And again, this is a tone setter. You want to get the ball on offense, go down the field, set the tone, score right away. And you see Pennsylvania going right to the passing game and trying to get yards downfield. And that also settles down your quarterback as well, getting him into a rhythm early in the game.
Good catch out there by Joaquin Page, his first one. Trips near side. Single receiver far side. Pitch back here. Round the corner they go. And pushed out of bounds there. On the carry that time was Nigel Linton out of Whitehall, going to Wilkes University next year.
And again, Linton, good carry on the pitch. And we'll talk a little bit in a few about the rules, because every All-Star game has rules for both sides of the ball.
Second down and 2 for Pennsylvania. Pulling near side, looking for a man in the flat. Has him right there. Good job of finding the spot right about the 50-yard line and hooking up on the pass to wide receiver Kenny Johnson from Dallastown, who's heading off to the University of Pittsburgh next year. Originally was a Penn State commit, recommitted to Pittsburgh, and you can see why right there. The guy knows how to run a route.
Yeah, he got open, and you look at his high school career, 4-year varsity football player. He was an all-state first team 2021 and 2022.
How about O'Sullivan's patience there, too, and waiting to throw that pass?
Absolutely. Good pass, right on the money.
Ball at the 48. And breaking wide open down the field. Here they go. This is Jamal Perryman, and Perryman with a 52-yard run from scrimmage. They said, watch out for the blinding speed. He's the athlete. The guy the Pennsylvania coaches picked, and guess what? He showed you right there. Out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania, headed to St. Francis University. Right now, he's headed for downtown Harrisburg and kept on running.
Yeah, 2020 All-Conference, 2022 All-Conference. He 3-time Player of the Week. He is a player that comes in and is able to just break the game open. And for Maryland, this is a blow. You've really struggled in this game for the past 4 years, and it's, this is your opportunity to come out and defense just gets burned.
We're going to do an interview, okay?
And the kick is down, the kick is up, and it is
Did you
good.
expect to get that? Were you supposed to run?
It was from Great Valley, and 7-0 out of the gate. Now, Pennsylvania's won the last 3 of these affairs.
You're already ready. Yes, sir.
And let's head on down to Mark McKenzie for a moment. He's got something for us. Mark?
Yeah, we got number 0 just put, numbers on the board. Tell us about what happened.
We had the wildcat, and we had the fake read, and then it was a counter. So I just followed the block, set it up, and it opened up perfect.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any message for those who are at home watching you?
Hey, all the guys, shout out to the guys. Hey, everybody that rock with me, I rock with you. Hey, I'm telling you.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
And number 0 has a name. He's Jamil Perryman, and he is from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, headed to St. Francis College next year, and what an outstanding 52-yard scamper there for the line of scrimmage off the Wildcat.
52 yards, and now, with the rules, the offense can do Wildcat. I mean, that is something that is in the rule book that they can do. The line splits must be tackle to tackle, and they cannot exceed 3 feet. No empty set, so you can't see just the quarterback in the backfield by themselves. It has to be a running back there. One back has to be there.
You also can't send the quarterback in motion out of the backfield, which a team did one year because it was in the rules, and they said, okay, going to change that one.
Absolutely.
By the way, Pennsylvania has won the last 3 of these, 28-7, 20-0, and 21-0. And, of course, the year of COVID, nobody played. But the kickoff coming up here from Pennsylvania. And doing the duties this time is going to be Ben Cisnowski from Hollidaysburg. He's heading to St. Francis also. Popular place. Quickly taken by Maryland out to the 23, maybe 22-yard line where they'll set up first down and 10.
And talking to Coach Powell yesterday, the head coach from Maryland, he talked about really trying to set the tone. They were excited to come into this game and really bring it to PA. So, you know, PA comes down, they score right away. It's their turn to do the exact same thing. You have to get the momentum in this game, and you have to go down and score.
Ricardo Cooper with a return there from Calvert Hall, heading to the University of Maryland next year. Ball spotted on the 23-yard line. Will be first and 10 here for Maryland. Nice pass, a little inside pass there, and sprinting out to near the 30-yard line, about the 28. Good pass and catch that time by Malik Leatherberry, the guy we talked about at the start. One of the stars to watch in this game.
Yeah, he's back-to-back first-team All-State performer. 34 touchdowns in his high school career, 138 receptions, and 11 TDs in the kick return game. So he's all over the field, and he'll get a chance to showcase that talent in the open field. They want to get him the ball in space.
Chuck Pellicati at the quarterback. Man in motion is Leatherberry. Handoff over the left side. Bang it out near the 30-yard line.
Keep an eye on that defensive front for Pennsylvania, especially number 16 defensive end out of Harrisburg, Terrell Reynolds. I'll tell you what, he has had a monster career at Harrisburg, and East Stroudsburg is getting a player.
Number one defensive player in the state the last 2 years in terms of also drops back there. He is a guy that is a sack king.
He is, and he gets to the quarterback fast. If you watch him off the ball, he fires off the ball. And he's going to want to eat up the quarterback today.
Pellicati with the handoff, dancing over the right side, trying to get some yardage, not to be, as Pennsylvania stacks him up. Looks like a rugby scrum right there.
Now already we have Maryland 3 and out. Defensive tone set by Pennsylvania, and that defense is tough. And the defensive guidelines, for instance, they cannot stunt. They cannot blitz. Outside linebackers must be in coverage. Inside linebackers must also be in coverage. So the only rush you're going to get is from the front four in a 4-4 defensive alignment.
Bryce Cox on that last carry from Mount St. Joseph, heading to Georgetown next year. It looks like they're trying to draw him offside. There's your punt. At the side of the foot, it looked like. Bounce down near the 40, will roll and go dead about the 42-yard line. And that's where Pennsylvania will take over on their second possession of the game. So right now we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with that second possession of Pennsylvania. This is the Big 33 Football Classic. And welcome back to the Big 33 Classic here as Pennsylvania has the football at the 49-yard line. Make that the 42 rather in their second possession of the game. Pass near side, out in the flat. Kenny Johnson again, and Kenny Johnson makes some people miss. This time Caden Olson in there from Armstrong, heading the University of Pennsylvania, and got it out to Kenny Johnson of Dallastown, the University of Pittsburgh recruit. And Johnson with a quick out pass right there, Jerome, and made a lot out of it.
And Cox, number 13, Keshawn Cox, had an opportunity to make a play for a loss and missed the tackle. And as we know, with these explosive receivers at Pennsylvania, you miss a tackle, they're getting north-south very fast, and it's very difficult to be able to defend. But everything was set up for you to make that play, and you got to make that play in this game.
Spread offense this time, 2 receivers far side, 1 receiver near side. Olsen still in at quarterback. Puts a man in motion. Hands off. Cutting across the far side for a quick pickup. And that is going to be number 23. That's Mikey Bedavania. Mikey Bedavania playing out of York Suburban High School in York, Pennsylvania. He's heading to Duquesne University next year. So Bedavania with a pickup of maybe 1 on the play.
And Dustin Huttel came up and made a good play from his linebacker position, headed to Susquehanna University.
There's Olsen looking deep. Has a man in the end zone again. And does he hang on? No. Man, he had his guy wide open down there. That was Joaquin Page from Cathedral Prep. Page just couldn't hang on to it. I think the hand of the defender was just enough in the way that kind of vision wasn't what it should have been there. Watch this, though. See the hand go up? He may have tipped that, too.
Yeah, I think that's probably what happened with Tony Hart on that play. He actually, it seemed like he initially mistimed the jump a little bit, but did enough to get into the passing, the eye vision of the receiver to disrupt that catch.
Tony Hart, the third out of Dunbar, and now you got that Kenny Johnson rounding the outside again, and not much there. Maryland's defense this time rising to the challenge. They bring them a 4th down.
Yep, they definitely rise into the challenge. And what you're seeing is they're violent at the tackle point. So they're coming up, sticking to Pennsylvania running backs, and now it seems like they settle down a little bit. Again, the rules don't favor them. They have to play man on man. There's no tricks, no stunts, no blitzes. You can't do anything. You just have to be able to read and react. So the quicker you react, the better.
Of Sam Francis Academy, going to Naval Academy, pretty tough there in the pursuit that time. And I got a 43-yard attempt coming up right here. Big foot, big look, big good. Wow. How about that? Showing you a little something there as the ball driven through there by Seth Turner from Great Valley. Rather make that Ben Cisnowski of Hollidaysburg, out of going to St. Francis University next year with a big field goal there. 43-yarder by Cisnowski. And Pennsylvania on top 10-0 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, we're seeing the St. Francis commits players that'll be going there. They're doing a good job coming out and establishing themselves in this game early.
So they show you the foot, they show you the speed and the touchdown, the receivers. Maryland did a good job that time of stopping them on defense. Now, one of the things we're going to have Mark McKenzie checking on in a little while, you'll see something that looks like a cell phone hanging on the front of some of the uniforms here. They're called go routes, and they're devices that have normally been used on scout teams by NFL teams, but they've never been used in a game until tonight in the United States. And tonight they're being used in this game.
And I actually had a chance to pick one up, and it really feels like a cell phone that the players have around their waist. But it gives them an opportunity to really see exactly what they need to do on the field.
Here's the kickoff, deep, and goes out of the end zone. And right now we want to take care of a little bit of history. For the first time in the history of the Big 33 game, we have a female coaching, and she's on Maryland. Her name is Natalie Mitchell. Mark had a chance to catch up with her. Here she is.
Natalie Mitchell, coach of the Big 33 Maryland team, but the first woman to be in that position in more than 6 decades. What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. I think that's paving the way for a lot more females to get in this industry.
Now, how did it happen? I mean, first you were a mom,
Right.
you had a couple of boys that were playing football, but that's a lot different than becoming, an assistant coach.
Well, I started with Coach Powell at Flowers High School, being the director of operations, and then one thing led to another, and now he's moving me up to special teams co-coordinator.
Now, tonight, it's kind of butterflies,
A little bit. This is a big day.
and I guess you think Maryland's going to win.
Oh no, I know Maryland's gonna win. I know Maryland's gonna win.
Any message for your boys at home?
I love you. Take care of my dogs, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Coach Mitchell, good luck tonight.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care.
And welcome back. And you got to meet Natalie Mitchell there as very near side there was Sean Johnson that time from Charles H. Flowers School, going to West Liberty University next year. No gain on the play. In fact, a loss of a yard. So it'll bring up a third down. And so far, you're seeing Pennsylvania really controlling the line of scrimmage here, Jerome.
Yeah, Jamal Lyons would not give up from Roman Catholic going to Penn State, wouldn't give up, and got the sack for a 1-yard loss for PA.
Johnson straight back, looking for a whole bunch right here, downfield, being guarded tightly, and no call.
And just good coverage by Cameron Jones out of Wilson. He's headed to Holy Cross, and again, that's what you want to be. It's one-on-one, so you have to be out there and make a play, and he did.
They were looking for Max Moss on the play there from Archbishop Spalding, going to James Madison next year, and just could not hook up. Good defense, good route, just not going to happen this time. Maryland's going to have to punt it out of there.
And again, Gary, Maryland has been plagued for a few years with stalled offense. They've had a hard time getting points in this game, and against PA, you have to be able to put points on the board. If you're not, they're going to pass the ball downfield and score quickly on you. And
Again,
you saw
off
that
the
today.
side of the foot, and it's only going to be out near the 46-yard line, so that's where Pennsylvania will take over again. Great field position here in the first quarter, 4:15 to go, and Pennsylvania's going to start in a good place. The kick made there by Alan Zhao, who's the kicker and also the punter here for this Maryland team. He's from Marriott's Ridge, heading to Cornell University next year. So pretty smart guy there heading off to Cornell. Right?
Absolutely. And again, field position is going to be key. Other than the first drive for Pennsylvania, the field position has not been good for Maryland. PA has really been starting with great field position, with shortened fields, to be able to, you get one big play and you're already in the red zone almost.
Just watching along the line of scrimmage right now, Pennsylvania looking very, very quick.
And big. I mean, that is a big front
They are.
on both sides of the ball.
Here's Pennsylvania now. There's your handoff again, right over the near side, now over the 50-yard line on the run. Number 21 for Pennsylvania, Nigel Linton.
And Linton's getting a lot of load here in the game, and he's making hay. That's, I mean, a 6-yard gain on first down. You can't beat that.
Rolling near side, looking near side. Pass a little bit short. Good defense that time by Maryland. Had it figured out very, very nicely, they did. As was Dustin Hoddle in there from Damascus, going to Susquehanna University next year, who really forced that bad throw.
And for a defensive lineman in a game that you can't stunt, you have to win from the snap. So that means getting off the ball quickly. Whatever defensive pass rush moves you have, you throw it out there immediately and try to win that battle quick. The sooner you do that, the sooner you're in the backfield, you can disrupt the offense.
Colin O'Sullivan, the quarterback in there on this series. So Maryland with a big third down right here in this game. Momentum has been all on Pennsylvania's side so far. O'Sullivan with one man in the backfield with him. That's Linton. Man in motion. Going near side. Kenny Johnson again, and Kenny Johnson gets the first down, has just crossed the 45-yard line down near the 44, just enough to get the first down, it looks like.
And I love how Pennsylvania is getting Johnson in space. And this is get him the ball quickly and let him do what he does. He breaks the tackle, even gets more yards, gets the first down.
For the University of Pittsburgh, you're drooling for next year, aren't you? Here's a little trivia question for you tonight. Think about this one. who was the first alumni to ever play from the Big 33 in a Super Bowl?
Ooh, that's a good
And off over the side. There's Linton breaking loose at the outside and stuck right there inside the 40, down near the 38. And he played more than one Super Bowl. Make it interesting for you. Again, that's Linton on the carry. Nigel Linton, Whitehall High School, heading next year to Wilkes University. Not all that far away from where Whitehall is, up in the downtown area. There you see Coach Damian Powell over on the far side. Straight back again. O'Sullivan looking. Guns it. Trying to find Johnson there. Good defense by Maryland. Really tight on the outside.
Exactly. That's what you want to do as a corner coming up. Assad locked down the receiver on that play.
From Tuxedo High School, heading to Fort Union next year, military school. Watch his defense here. Great job.
You know, you want to be glued on the receiver, and then you want to come up and make a play. It's you get the chance to get to the ball just as much as the receiver does, and you make a play.
Asa locks, as you said, locking down. So third down again. It'll be 6 to go. Ball at the 39-yard line of Maryland. Pennsylvania with the football. They're up 10-0 right now. Straight back goes O'Sullivan. Over the middle it goes, up in the air, and he's looking for Johnson, but it just was tipped right at the line of scrimmage. And again, good job. This guy, I'm going to call his number a lot tonight, number 36, Julian Mutume from St. Francis Academy, going to the Naval Academy. Take a look at the hands here. And this guy is an athlete, and then ball up in the air and almost picked off by Mutume.
Yeah, when we saw him yesterday at practice, I think we both looked at him like, "Are you kidding?" I mean, this kid is a beast of a player, and he has long arms, so that doesn't surprise me. If him being able to get his arms up that high, that's what you want to do for a defensive lineman, and he has a long one.
Pennsylvania's going to kick it out of there. And it's Seth Turner doing that, trying to just bottle him up, and it's going to be fumbled. Look out. Ball still loose on the field. Pennsylvania is going to recover it. And on the ground with it and picking it up for Pennsylvania is number 52, Sean Kerrigan from Central Bucks East, as unwisely going for that ball. Take a look.
Yeah, this was hard because your defense did very well the last two drives. They stiffened up well, and then a mistake gives Pennsylvania the ball and gives them momentum just that quickly.
So Kerrigan with the fumble recovery here for Pennsylvania. 2:20 to go here in the first quarter, and it's been all Pennsylvania so far, and they're knocking on the door again as the ball's going to be down at the 10-yard line, first and 10. So the very first player to ever be on this fraternity of people who played in Super Bowls happened back in 1967. In fact, it wasn't even called the Super Bowl. Then it was called the World Championship, and it was between Green Bay and Kansas City, and Green Bay won 35-10 over Kansas City, and the name of the guy who played in this game was Herb Adderley. Remember the great defensive back?
Definitely, and again, the history of this game has been big. I mean, it's been at different locations, but the history and the pageantry of the game is the same regardless where it's played. And, you know, we're here at this beautiful stadium at Bishop McDevitt High School. The state champs from this year had a chance to see them win that game, and then being able to host the Super Bowl of high school football here.
I want to thank all the people for joining us tonight in NBC Sports Philly, Mass in Baltimore, Stadium Network, AT&T Sports Pittsburgh, and Fox 43.2, and tomorrow on Stadium Network. You can watch that. We're also streaming at Big 33 website at big33.org, Invicta YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So we are all over the place tonight. 30 million people being reached tonight on this broadcast, and we're so happy to be bringing it to you here in this beautiful evening. About 70 degrees right now. And the crowd turning out here tonight, a very nice crowd, especially for the holiday weekend. And remember all our veterans tomorrow who gave the ultimate sacrifice to serve our country. So Maryland, Pennsylvania hooking up.
And you talk about, you know, it's such a wonderful evening, 70 degrees, the humidity's down. It's a very different than last year, 2022. It was a little smoking here in Pennsylvania at Bishop McDevitt. I mean, I think we were in the high 80s and very humid, if not in the 90s. So, you know, the players get a little break, a little breeze, but a perfect night for football.
Okay, so an ineligible player downfield after all this confab. We've had not this much confab in the United Nations sometimes. And after all that, they're going to bring it all the way back up here. And the ball's going to be back on the 45-yard line because of the ineligible receiver downfield. So that means it'll be 4th down now and 12 yards to go. So we'll redo this whole thing. Seth Turner will kick it again. And Maryland gets a reprieve. This time, very high kick and let go. And it bounces out near the 15-yard line, maybe the 16, and there is where Maryland will take it. By the way, we're so proud of the sponsors that have been with us tonight. The Pennsylvania Sports Agency helps high school and collegiate student athletes with name, image, and likeness opportunities and contracts. Their agents have over 16 years of experience working with high school athletes, including the Mr. PA football program, football camps, and 7-on-7 teams. Visit www.pasportsagency.com. And we're walking back one more time.
Well, we see Maryland get the reprieve. You talk about reprieve, what a reprieve they got. And then PA backs up even more. So now Maryland is kind of out of that hole at the moment. We don't know what the punt's going to be, but they're out of that hole that they would have originally been in, which would have gave the ball to Pennsylvania within 5 yards of the end zone. So this is an opportunity. Maryland's defense has done a good job. Now it's time for this offense has to begin to click. They have to, or they're going to be in the same boat they've been previous years, not being able to score many points against this Pennsylvania team.
And again, the official. So now the ball ends up finally at the 24-yard line after this adventure, and it will be Maryland's ball finally. So Maryland needs to get something going here. 2:13 to go to the end of the first quarter. Talked about Herb Adderley being one of the alumni. He was in that first game, the World Championship. Well, in Super Bowl II, Herb Adderley and Harry Schutt were also in that one. That's a name you don't hear that often. Green Bay won that one 23-14. Banging over the right side, and again, Maryland being stopped by that front line of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Gary, it's not going to be easy to run on this Pennsylvania team, and so, but you want to establish it. You have to try to run the ball. You have to try to establish some sort of offense, and you can't just drop back and pass every time. So you have accomplished backs in that backfield, and you got to make sure they get the ball.
Bryce Cox with a carry, got the 5'11", 195-pound running back from Mount St. Joseph, heading to Georgetown next year. Handoff again, trying to find some room. Does this time and scampers out near the first down if he doesn't already have it. Nice job on the run by Bryce Cox.
Yeah, good run. And the ability to plant your foot and bounce the ball outside. Bounce it outside when you're able to. Turn on the jets, get the corner, and then get the first down. First down for Maryland.
Bellicotti with the handoff there, quarterback. There you see the Maryland staff on the far side. Wearing the typical Maryland colors, gold and red and black, some of the coolest colors anywhere. Boy, nothing going that time as Pennsylvania just rose up in the front.
And I think it was the entire defensive line.
But I'll tell you who led the charge on that too, and a number of we called a lot during the season. Terrell Reynolds from Harrisburg, going to East Stroudsburg University. Terrell Reynolds, the sack leader in the state of Pennsylvania the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he's going to have an opportunity to play right away at East Stroudsburg and a real competitive PSAC conference. So it'll be really interesting to see how he matures and develops in that program.
Bellicotti, nice look. He looked near side to set up the defense and then gunned it far side. Nice job by Bellicotti. And he found his receiver. It was Max Moss, Archbishop Spalding, over there on the flat.
And again, Max in space, gets the ball in space, gets the first down. Maryland is starting to put some things together here.
He looked left through the defense, then came back to the right that time, Jerome. Really nice set. Two receivers near side, one far, one man in the slot. Bellicotti. Straight back. Pellicotti's got his man downfield, deep. Beautiful pass from Pellicotti and running right underneath it there. Excellent call And catching the ball down there was Corey Jones, Milford Mill Academy, heading to the University of Charleston. What a great pass for Pellicati.
Was that a beautiful, beautiful throw? Right over the shoulder, in stride, and that's all you can ask for. And Pellicati is starting to get rolling. The offense is starting to get rolling. They're able to run the ball. They ran for a first down or two. Now they're throwing for big-time chunks of yards, so they're building something here offensively.
First down on the 15-yard line. And Maryland still got it. Loose, heading to the end zone, and in. Touchdown, Maryland. As, man, did they come back with an answer here. And again, on the run, who was it? None other than Bryce Cox finishing it off. What he started with that little run around the corner, and he finished it off with a nice jog into the end zone.
Yeah, I love his ability to break tackles, change direction, get north-south fast. And again, the offense was clicking from the very first play of this drive. So they've been able to stack positive plays one after another, and then they got into a rhythm, touchdown. Now we have a ball game.
And Maryland answers here. Love to see it. So Alan Zhao in the extra point effort to draw within 3. Snap down, kick up, plenty of distance, and the kick is good. 10-7 with 3 seconds to go to the end of the first quarter here, and Maryland has struck.
And that's exactly what they needed. That's the medicine for this game, being able to come out. Pennsylvania, the first drive, was able to kind of take control a little bit, made some mistakes, defense stalled a little bit, or offense stalled a little bit. Now you come back and you have your best drive of the game, a little bit of run, a little bit of pass, being able to mix it up. And again, the defenses are limited. They have to play straight up football. So you have to be able to win your battle one-on-one, and Maryland did that on that drive.
Weren't doing very much on the ground. Got the nice little scamper by Cox. That got them started. Then they went to the passing game, throwing to the right flat and throwing deep, and then finally finishing it off with a scamper by Cox in the end zone. Nice combination for Maryland.
Absolutely. And like most all-star games, it takes the quarterbacks some time and the offenses to gel. Defenses are usually a little bit ahead of the offenses, but then the offenses need to get that work in together, through the weeks before they play, and that takes time, and sometimes that time extends into the game.
How about Pellicati with his great pass, going to Liberty, he's at Liberty High School, going to Towson University next year.
And I'll tell you, if he can play like that at Towson, I mean, that's going to be great for them and what they can do.
Play there in Johnny United Stadium at Towson. So Maryland with an answer here. We got ourselves a football game here with 3 seconds to go in the first quarter. So you see the cheerleaders, and they've been here working hard the last few days as well as the players, and I'll tell you, we're doing a great job. And they've got their buddies down there with them. I'm telling you what, it's been really fun watching practices the last few days and seeing what these people do.
I mean, this is an event, and anywhere you go in the country, Big 33, everybody knows what it is.
So you got Perryman back there. Look out, he's a human highlight machine. And Zhao getting ready to do the kickoff duties. 3 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Sun's starting to go down here at Rocco Hortensio Stadium. Our stat guy tonight, Ed Weaver, by the way, CircleWsports.com. Check them out. High kick, and there's Perryman. He's got it. He hands off behind him. Coming out near side, still on his feet. And we have the run back there by Sincere Smith from Perryman, but we'll go to break. We'll take a break. It's 10-7 at the end of the first quarter, and it's all here. The Big 33 football game right here on Invicta Sports. Back with more right after this.
PA Sports Agency helps high school and collegiate student athletes with name, image, and likeness opportunities and contracts. Our agents bring an unparalleled combination of sports experience and legal expertise to the NIL landscape. They have over 16 years of experience working with high school athletes, including the Mr. PA football program, football camps, and 7-on-7 teams. Let PA Sports Agency help you find profitable NIL opportunities and create contracts that protect the student athlete. Get fair representation from an agency you can trust. Learn more at PASportsagency.com. From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
Bishop McDevitt High School cares about its students. We make sure our bright and talented students have the resources they need to grow into moral, Catholic human beings. At McDevitt, we create future engineers, football stars, scientists, nurses, writers, musicians, entrepreneurs, D1 athletes, soldiers, travelers, zoologists, artists, actors, teachers. McDevitt is the future. Are you going to be a part of it?
Today's Advanced Hoops tip will feature Duke McCamey, our post-training expert.
The miking drill is a foundational drill that I teach all young players that sign up for my class. This drill teaches players to finish around the basket while using proper footwork. It's important for players to use the right hand on the right side and the left hand on the left side. I teach players to shuffle their feet and get low while exploding into the layup. Squaring feet and squaring shoulders is the key to consistency and timing around the basket. The miking drill is a foundational drill for every young player to learn in my class.
This year's All-America Lacrosse will have the same regions and incredible level of talent that we've had for over 15 years, but we've made some improvements. We added the new Burn division for the rising junior class. Your path to the senior game starts at your underclass tryouts. New Balance is the hottest brand of lacrosse, and you don't want to get left behind. Go to allamericalacrosse.com and register for a tryout now.
And welcome back to the Big 33 game. Let's go to Mark McKenzie right now, who's got the guy that scored that last touchdown in a hurry.
Bryce Cox, tell me about the play. It was a little off tackle. What'd you see?
So it was originally a power play, and I saw that Tamaris had a great block, got off the D tackle, got to the linebackers. So when both linebackers were clogged and the end was flat-footed, I bounced it out, and just beat the end to the end zone with my speed.
Turn on your speed. Anything you want to say to folks back home?
My girlfriend, her family over there, my mom's over here, and I just want to say thank you to them for everything. Shout out to them. I love them. And I just want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Excellent. Thanks, Bryce.
Bryce Cox, a happy guy right now, a mature young man, and, had a mature run on that one, Jerome.
He definitely did. Georgetown's getting a player, and I think if he can take that to the next level, keep working hard, he'll definitely be able to get on the field up there and help that program.
Hayden Olsen looking downfield for Johnson and could not quite get him. Good coverage down there by Maryland that time.
And it was almost as if Johnson had like a little hitch in his at the top of the route, where if he would have kept running, maybe he could have got under that ball. It was a beautiful thrown ball. But Johnson did get behind the defense, so he was open. And I circle that play. It's possible Pennsylvania may come back to that.
You saw something there. And you saw two people with Johnson that time, too, so he's getting a little attention.
And yet he still got behind them. And that's when you have a receiver that's still able to get behind a double team, that can let you know what he brings to the table.
There's Olsen again looking as a man in the corner overthrows him. A Highmark Blue Shield and Penn State Health are proud to be the All-Star Cheer Program sponsor of the 2023 Big 33 game. Highmark Blue Shield is more than just a health plan because they collaborate with Penn State Health. You have a whole team that's here to support you and your health with every play. Now that's what we call a game changer. Gary Sutton with you here, along with Jerome Presley, Mark McKenzie, and sun has gone down. The lights are on now. Fourth down for Pennsylvania, and the tide, I would say, has turned right now for Maryland. They have risen up. They transferred the offensive juice over to the defense, and the defense playing tough.
And if you think about it, other than the very first drive, and I would say the early part of the second drive, the Maryland defense has definitely gotten a lot tougher to move the ball on. And I think right now they've settled in very well. They're tackling better. I think that first drive, you had some, maybe it's the nerves, but now the defense is tackling. They're swarming to the ball. The secondary, the corners and the safeties, they're playing good, very good in the back end. And now it's a game, and they have an opportunity to get the ball and do something with it and possibly take the lead.
So Turner is going to be asked to kick it out of there again for Pennsylvania. By the way, massive is something here. It's not just about body build. See why athletes are changing to massive right now. They can take their game to the next level with Massive's innovative all-season football gloves featuring hydrophobic palms that stay sticky even when wet. You can use code BIG33CLASSIC at massiveathletics.com and receive 15% off your first order. That's code BIG33CLASSIC, all one word, at massive, MASSOV, athletics.com. Ready to kick it out of there. High snap. Turner boots it out nicely. Taken here by Maryland, and some open field running coming up. Back to the middle, and good field position again here for Maryland as they run it back. And doing a great job on the run back that time was Anthony Hawkins from Broadneck. Undecided where he's going to college next year, but showing you a little bit of ability to pick and find his way through.
And Ricari L laid the wood on that play defensively or on the kick team. And that's what you have to do. You come up and you make a play. You heard the smack all the way up here.
So there you see Anthony Hawkins. So Maryland sets up now, ball at the 46-yard line. 10:32 to go here in the first half. And quarterback Sean Johnson this time. And Johnson scampering near side. And will step out of bounds. Johnson showing you a little bit of speed there. The ball down to the Pennsylvania 48, and very quickly Maryland is turning this into a different kind of game. Good fake there to the running back, and then sprinting near side across back down to the 48-yard line. But a penalty against Maryland's going to take it back.
And Johnson, headed to West Liberty, was an all MET honorable mention, all state selection. Offensive player of the year. He's short for a quarterback at 5'10", 185 pounds. But we'll get a chance to see what he can do when we saw him on the ground a little bit.
He plays for Coach Damian Powell at Charles H. Flowers and heading to West Liberty University as mentioned. So here's Johnson now handing off this time. Quick move. Brought down there by a host of Pennsylvania players. Loss on the play will be about 2 yards.
And Riley Rebel, Bishop McDevitt, James Madison came up and make a really good play defensively for Pennsylvania.
Riley Rebel, also the top heavyweight wrestler in the state this year, won a state championship. He played for Bishop McDevitt right here on this field, state championship. Rebel is a massive guy to get by. Here's Johnson again, finding the ability to escape. But Johnson gets down to the 45-yard line, out to the 45-yard line, gets back a little bit of the loss, but not much.
And again, coming up with the tackles, number 12, Jamel Lyons, not giving up. But you talk about wrestlers. One of the things that I would say about wrestlers is when they get their hands on you, they got you. You're not going to break a lot of tackles from wrestlers. When you think of wrestling, it's technique and being able to grab and hold and execute whatever move you want to put on a person, and then translate that to football.
He keeps it again, fighting for yardage. It's going to be brought down by number 25, 26 for Pennsylvania. I believe that's Donovan Walker from Aliquippa, going to Ohio University next year.
And Pennsylvania settled down defensively. They tackle well. They pursued. The pursuit was great. Now they're able to get Maryland off the field and get back the ball to their offense and see if they can get their momentum back. I mean, they had a really good rhythm on the first drive and then lost it. Haven't been able to recapture that since then. So they want to see if they can recapture that on their next offensive possession for Pennsylvania.
The punt again coming out from Zhao now. This one a pretty good look. What a missile. Nice job by Zhao. And taken back there is Perryman again. Look out. He's a human highlight film right here. And somebody wanted a block in the back down there. Look at Perryman putting on the show.
And he has blockers in front of him.
Perryman all the way back. And I'm wrong on that. It's not Perryman. It's actually Sincere Smith, not Perryman. I thought Perryman was the number there. It was not a 0. It was an 8. And Sincere Smith with the run all the way back. Do we have a penalty flag down on the field? Yes, we do, all the way back at the 12-yard line. But what an exciting run by Sincere Smith.
Yeah, I think he ran about 120 yards from side to side.
So it's going to be a long walk all the way back to the 12-yard line for everyone. We'll take a break and come right back and pick it up from there. And welcome back, and it's going to be 1st and 10 on the penalty. And Pennsylvania will have the football here, but not in very good field position. The worst starting field position in the game as it's thrown out of there deep. Looking for Johnson, and there he is, near sideline, and another great pass. That was absolutely covered perfectly. Tell you what, if you're looking down there, you're looking at number 15, Anthony Hawkins. Man, he felt like he had him blanketed, and Johnson still managed to catch it. What a throw, though.
Yeah, that's a quarterback throw. You do everything as a corner. You're glued to the receiver. He's able to stride for stride. Johnson does get a little bit of an edge with getting some distance and separation at the end of the route, but a beautiful pass by the quarterback, beautiful catch by Johnson. Johnson is showing all the tricks today.
So it'll be 1st down at the 45-yard line, 7:26 to go to half. There's your handoff again, near side. Nothing doing. And great tackle there to finish it off the play for Maryland is Nate Furrow from Bel Air, going to Marist University next year. Quarterback in this series is Colin O'Sullivan, from Upper Dublin. He's going to Rutgers next year. We're going to be playing in the Big Ten. So his first appearance here so far in the game today. 6:51 to go.
4-year varsity starter at quarterback, point guard on the district champion basketball team. So his athleticism is all
he's
over.
got some room. Good pass. What a hit. Great pass, and he had his man, and what a hit over there on the side from Maryland. That was Tony Hart III out of Dunbar. Take a look at this. I mean, this is a completed pass for a moment. And then Hart coming up and just laid the wood.
And that's Daquan McCraw from Still High. Gets a reception. He gets up, and that's the key. You made the reception. You held onto the ball, and that's going to happen sometimes with all this speed on the field, but you held onto the ball, made a play.
That was a bang play, and a lot of people look at those and say, ouch, but a lot of times those are the ones you just get the shock of the moment, you get back up and you get going.
And check that, it looks like he did not make the play.
No, he dropped the ball. Sullivan, far side, looking, nothing going. And so again, it'll be 4th down now, and Pennsylvania forced to kick it out. And Maryland holds again. 10-7 here, 6:19 to go. A PA Sports Agency helps high school and collegiate student athletes with name, image, and likeness opportunities and contracts. Their agents bring an unparalleled combination of sports experience and legal expertise to the NIL landscape. Get fair representation from an agency you can trust. Learn more at www.pasportsagency.com. So it's 4th down here for Pennsylvania. Turner going to kick it out. Seth Turner out of Great Valley, going to the University of Connecticut next year.
And UConn's really trying to build something at University of Connecticut. I mean, they did some good things this year, and they want to keep it going.
Good high punt again. And Turner down there, it's a fair catch. Maryland gets it at the 10-yard line. It was taken there and caught nicely by Ricardo Cooper. And so Maryland gets it back here with 5:54 to go in the first half. You know, we're talking about Herb Adderley being an alumni of this game. He played in 4 of the first 6 Super Bowls.
Wow.
But for 2 different teams. First Green Bay and then later on for Dallas.
And that's before free agency.
You got it.
Kicked out.
He found a way to be in the right place at the right time, right?
Right place, right time. Again, I'm very impressed with this Maryland defense and what they've been able to do to get the ball back to that offense.
I like the way Maryland is playing right now. Coach Damian Powell has won 2 other All-Star games. He said, I'd like to make it a triumvirate with this one. Pass over the side, open out there, just slipping on the turf here, just shy of the 20-yard line at about the 18. Good catch by Maryland. That was Mackay Dukes from Patterson, going to Cabrillo College next year.
And again, get your quarterback into a rhythm, a short out route, get it out there quick, see if your player can make a play.
And Jack Pelciati has quite an arm there, doesn't he? There's Pelciati, handoff, dancing wide open over the middle and banging it out over the 20, near the 22-yard line. Another good run here by Maryland.
And those out routes have to be on a rope. You cannot be late.
That was Bryce Cox again on the carry. Cox needs to go out of the game for a moment here. His helmet came off. So it's a big 3rd down play here. 3rd down, let's call it 2, maybe a long one for Maryland. 3rd and 1 from their 17-yard line. Rather the 21-yard line now, they spot it. Scampering, trying to get to it. Don't think he got it. Ball fumbled. And I think Pennsylvania may have it, or was he down on the play? I think he's down. That'll bring up a punting down here. 4th down for Maryland. It's kind of weird. We don't have any mascots that we use tonight. So it's Maryland and Pennsylvania,
yeah.
Right?
And again, you see the defense. Look where the defensive line is. Their penetration in the offensive backfield, they just were able to just blow the play up.
Sean Williams Jr. on the carry there from Milford Mill Academy, heading to the University of Pennsylvania next year.
And they're going to give Maryland the 1st down.
Wow. Didn't see that one.
No, didn't see it.
So Pelciati back in there now, and Maryland getting a few reprieves here at the moment.
I thought he was at least a yard short, if not more
easily.
than that, but
Pelciati, man open, threw it behind him. Had Leatherberry out in the flat, and Leatherberry had some room to run if he'd have caught it. Was thrown a little bit behind him, though, that time. Looked like they had 2 guys kind of running the same route.
Right. And again, I think the key, and I think you see both teams are doing this. They're really trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly. Again, the pass rush from both of these clubs are very good. So you want to get the ball out and get the ball into these players and these receivers so that they can have it in space. And once they're in space, they can do whatever they want. And you see the shiftiness and the speed that these guys have. So that makes sense to be able to do that, but you have to be accurate. You have to put the ball on the rope and get it there. 2
receivers near side, 1 far side. You have to pass the ball, by the way, in this game, in the rules of the All-Star game, 40% of the time.
And
so
if you don't, they'll let you know.
Yeah, they let you know. Oh, great job of getting back there in the backfield and breaking it up. And I'll tell you what. Who was it? That guy we talked about earlier for Pennsylvania? Terrell Reynolds. Terrell Reynolds will be back in your backfield most of the times he was for Harrisburg High this year. They made it to the state championship game, but he is an outstanding player. Hey, the UPMC Orthopedic Care Team treats, trains, and inspires athletes at any age. To learn more, visit upmc.com/centralpaortho. So here's Pelliciotti again for Maryland. Pelliciotti being rushed again. Gets loose, finding a way to get forward out near the 25-yard line, and there's a flag down on the field after the play.
They may get Maryland's defense for a face mask on the play, which basically bailed Maryland out here.
Gavin Mallett of Bethel Park, heading to the University of Delaware, was in on that play, 35. I think they're saying he may have grabbed it, but did he let it go?
Okay. So they'll pick up the flag.
Yep. They said he grabbed it, but he let it go. Nice job of the officials getting together. So third down coming up now for, or is it fourth coming up finally? Fourth down. And it'll be a kicking down, obviously, for Maryland to get it out of there. 3:18 to go here in the first half. You know, one of the other guys in this game, the Super Bowl game, who played here in the Big 33, a guy named Joe Namath. Wow. He played in Super Bowl number 3. He wasn't too bad in that. First win for the AFC, and he guaranteed it. Remember that one?
He did. He guaranteed it.
Beat the Baltimore Colts. They weren't supposed to have a chance. 16-7, and Namath was the MVP of the game. Played in the Big 33. There's Zhao with a great kick out of the end. His last 3 punts have been dynamite. And here again,
look at the
highlight
wall.
film.
Look at the wall. Look at the wall.
It is Sincere Smith again. Sincere Smith all the way down the field. Sincere Smith trying to get the end zone. Sincere Smith is in for the touchdown. Sincere Smith, human highlight film tonight. He and Perryman have been unbelievable.
And you saw the wall set up from the very beginning of the return. And once you get that wall set up, he's able to run behind it.
Wow. Sincere Smith. Absolute highlight film. He had one a little bit ago, but it got called back. Here he goes again and says, well, in case you didn't then, take a look now. He's out of Westinghouse High School, heading to Penn West, California next year. And look at the run here. Just letting his blocker set up, reading, not going too fast, and picking his way in for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. And it was his patience. He was patient, went one way, then went the other.
And we're going to head down in a moment to Mark McKenzie, who's going to be with Sincere Smith. So should be 14-10, I believe, on the board now, shouldn't it? Was 10-7. It should be 14-10 on the board. I think they have a mistake up there. Let's go to Mark McKenzie, who is down there with Sincere Smith. Mark.
Yes, Sincere. Hang on, Sincere. You had, Sincere. Yeah. So you had a run back that was called back, so you had to do a redo.
I'm not sincere.
Oh, you're not Sincere.
Number 9.
That's the second time that's happened to us today. Sorry about that, guys. No, that's happened to us before. Sorry about that. Well,
we'll see if we can get Sincere back there.
Yes.
But yeah, the zeros and the 8s look a lot alike here on
they
the field
do.
right now. We'll get Mark back, and he can check out number 8 here in a moment, who had a great run back there.
And again, it was just patience.
Yeah, absolutely. And speed combined with patience, what a lethal combination. There you see some of the crowd that's gathered here tonight. They were hoping to get like 8,000 to 10,000 here this evening. I think we're pretty close.
Where's my cameraman? Where's my cameraman?
Well, let's get down to Mark McKenzie, who's now with Sincere Smith, and I think he says it's sincere, sincerely. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Mark.
so I've checked the numbers, and this is number 8. Now, Sincere, you had one called back, so you had to do a redo.
Of course, I always got running back.
So what did you see?
First, I seen everybody was already blocked, so it was one-on-one. Can never let one man top you, so I had to drop him. My blocking did the rest.
Was that the easiest run back you've ever had?
Probably.
Anything you want to say to the folks back home or here?
Shout out the house, man.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Congratulations. I got the right number now.
So Sincere Smith, we get him finally, and he got a touchdown finally too. He had one call back, ran another one down the field here, and Sincere Smith, the outstanding player in this game so far tonight, with 2:19 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, Smith just showed shiftiness, and again, get the ball in space, let him do what he needs to do. The punter did a good job. You put it high. You don't want to outkick your coverage. That means kicking it where it's a long line drive and the ball gets there before your coverage can get there. So the kick was good. It was in the air. It was high. He gets the ball, goes one direction, able to turn the other direction, and then the wall is set up. That's just good coaching and good execution on the return team for Pennsylvania.
And Sincere Smith with a touchdown here, and it's 17-7. Pennsylvania is up and regains some of the momentum, and I'll tell you what, some of these speed guys will gain that in a real big hurry here.
And this is the format to showcase that talent, that speed on the outside. You see these, it's a spread look. You're not seeing a two-back set. You're seeing a spread look because you have a lot of receivers that can get the ball and take it upfield, and that's what you're seeing on both teams doing the exact same thing and trying to execute it both ways.
So Maryland looking to answer here with 2:04 to go in the first half. Down 17-7. Pelciati, near side, looking downfield, throws a bomb up in the air, and somehow, is it caught?
Yep.
It is. What a catch down there. Great pass by Pelciati. Is that Sean Williams? Check that out. It's going to be Trey Goodage from Mount St. Joseph, North Carolina Central University, is where he's heading next year. What a catch. That's the catch of the game so far by Goodrich. Take a look at this one.
And that is, I want the ball more than you want the ball, and I'm going to go get the ball. And that's what you get. Now, we do have a flag and a penalty, but it looks like it'll be against Pennsylvania, so this will hold. And just a brilliant catch. Just go get it. Athlete makes a play, go get it.
Give Pelciati some credit for just throwing that on the run. I mean, that was up for grabs, and Goodrich said, I think I'll take that one. He went high above everyone else to pull it down. Great catch by Goodrich.
And quarterback took a lick there, and he did the one cardinal rule you don't want to do is throw the ball across your body. But when you have receivers on the other end that can go up and get it,
they can make you look real good in a big moment.
Yeah, it's one of those the coach says, no, 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 yes, once the catch is made.
1:46 to go. Maryland on the march right here. Down 17-7, courtesy of Mr. Smith a few moments ago. Pelciati throws it off the back foot again. Has a man in the end zone. This time it's picked off. Put that one up once too many times, and that was read the whole way by number 26. That was Donovan Walker out of Aliquippa who made the interception. Walker reading it the whole way.
And I don't think Pelciani saw him at all. I don't think he saw. He was playing center field and was just able to get back, cover that ground, get back, and get the pick. And sometimes when, quarterback fades back and he gets locked on a receiver looks like he's open, and free safety can make a play.
Yeah, great job by Walker picking that off. Aliquippa, just an outstanding football program every year in the state championship, the last few. This year, the team that Bishop McDevitt beat for the state championship. The year before, Aliquippa did the turnaround with Bishop McDevitt. So those two have quite a rivalry going.
And I think that's a nice rival. I like to keep going. I want to see that again.
Aliquippa also the boys state basketball championship this year, although they finished second in that. By the way, brought to you by University of Maryland Primary Care Sports Medicine. From concussion management to care for fractures, sprains, and chronic pain, sports medicine specialists help athletes of all ages return to their desired activities quickly and safely. Appointments available within 48 hours in Columbia or downtown Baltimore. Visit umfbi.org/sports for more information. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Pennsylvania. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Quarterback this time is going to be Caden Olson. Olson near side is going to overthrow his receiver and it's pushed out of bounds. Good coverage by Maryland on that play. Caden Olson, a tall drink of water there, 6'5", 220. Olson is heading to University of Pennsylvania next year to play for the Quakers.
Yeah, and I think the Ivy will get an opportunity to see this young man play. He has the brains, and he'll put it on the field as well. And again, that to me, that was more of a throwaway. He didn't have tons of time.
Right.
So he get it out, get it over receiver, get it out, and play the next down.
Spread set this time. Two receivers near side, one man in motion. And that's going to be Johnson. And they got Johnson out in the flat. They're trying to get him a run, but Johnson slips. Hangs onto the football there, but ball right there at the line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line, where it'll be third down now for Pennsylvania. No advancement so far.
And just think, Olsen was the leader times MVP and Offensive Player of the Year in basketball. 1,000-point scorer in basketball 3 times.
Pretty good career, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Super Bowl 16, ladies and gentlemen? Who were the 2 alumni of the Big 33 game in that one? Try this one on. A guy named Archie Griffin didn't do too bad a job over with the Heisman Trophy at Ohio State. And the other guy, he was all right as a quarterback, Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
He played in a few of those Super Bowls, didn't he?
He definitely did. And again, football at its purest, and back then, and you saw him be able to carve up defenses on a regular.
The Big 33 started back in 1957. There was no game that first year. The team was just named. But then in 1958, Pennsylvania won 7-0 over the USA. Then they won 18-0 over the USA again in 1959. Then by 1960, it was 0-0. There's one common denominator there. The USA never scored. In 3 years, yeah. So they played the USA, they played East-West, they played Ohio, they played Texas, they played Maryland, and now they're back with Maryland again. And so it's been a wonderful series here, a lot of different plays over the years. Texas dominated Pennsylvania pretty hard there from 1965. After Pennsylvania beat them in 1964, they had won 1, 2, 3 in a row, did Texas, and that series ended.
Right. And we know Texas, I mean, that's just a hotbed for athletes. So many down that area.
Well, you look at the scores during that period, too. 1965, Texas 26-10 over Pennsylvania.
Right.
Texas 34-2, and Texas 45-14, and it ended after that, and then they went to an East-West for a few years. They came back with Ohio. Let's go right now, and we're going to check out Bo Orlando is a guy who's played with a pretty good program here. He played with Berwick under the legendary coach George Curry. Later on with West Virginia did Orlando play, and he is the honorary chairman of this game, and we had a chance to catch up with Bo Orlando. Here he is.
Thanks, Gary. I'm with Wade Marsko with PA Sports Agency, and Wade.
Where the guy is kind of a legend here in Pennsylvania. He played in this Big 33 game. He then went on to play for West Virginia, played the national championship game in 1988. And also played in the NFL for the pros as well. But today, he's the honorary chairman of the Big 33 game. Bo Orlando. Bo, great to have you, man.
Oh, it's good to be here. It brings back a lot of great memories from 39 years ago. But like I explained in my speech, this is a fraternity like no other, football as a whole. And I'm just glad to be back and see a lot of people that I've known for a long, long time.
What's the Big 33 game mean to you? Talk about being a fraternity, but there's a lot of things that go into that and getting together for these few days, right?
Absolutely. I mean, these guys come down here, and I said I came here yesterday. They did the buddies thing. They had the servicemen come talk yesterday. Like, that's what it's all about, getting these kids and seeing these kids with all their buddies around. I mean, Coach Curry did a fame for us. He raised young men. There's much more to life than football. Football's created a lot of opportunities, but that's what it's all about, what kind of person you are.
So let me give you a tough question here. You played a Big 33 game. You played a national championship game. You played some pretty big games in the NFL. Where's Big 33 rank?
Oh, it ranks very high. I mean, Pennsylvania to me, I'm a small town Berwick guy, and always true to my roots. And I always tell the kids, don't forget where you come from. These people mean a lot to me. And this is without these people here, Coach Curry, my family, and all the support in Pennsylvania, I never would have been, what I accomplished.
Speaking of going back to your roots, you're back there as athletic director at Berwick. Legendary school. You won a national championship in '83, as I recall.
Yeah, I was a quarterback of a mythical national championship. Well, we'll take it though. I mean, we're not gonna say this.
You guys.
Well, it wasn't mythical to us exactly, but it's great. It's great to be back, and I deal with the young athletes and trying to do some things. I just stopped at West Virginia, try to get some help, from my past strength coaches and everything. So it's great to be back, but it's not an easy job.
Bo Orlando, honorary chairman of the Big 33 game. Great to have you back here in Pennsylvania and back at Berwick.
Well, thank you. Good seeing you guys, too.
Thanks. And how about Kayshawn Cox there on the punt return from Pennsylvania? And Kayshawn Cox for Maryland out of Wise High School, going to University of Delaware next year. And so Maryland has a chance here at the end of the half to get this thing close.
And the thought there was, Sakari, you can do it, I can do it as well. So he was trying to get to the end zone and just ran out of real estate at the end of the return.
O'Sullivan has a man out in the flat and hits him quickly just inside the chains, close to a first down. A nice pass out there into the flat.
Think of what a touchdown here could do for Maryland. I mean, you saw the momentum shift to Pennsylvania, and they've kind of had this momentum a little bit in this, within the past probably 10 minutes of the game, and then you have a chance to score here and only be down 3.
Nice catch again by Max Moss. Now you're kind of in a predictable passing down here, aren't you?
Yeah. You may be able to get one run out of it, but for the most part, yes.
35 seconds to go here in the half, trying to come up with something. And just not on the same page there, as his receiver was out and not looking for the ball yet. So it does stop the clock. Intended target there was Josh Johnson out of Laurel High School. He's going to Frostburg State University next year.
It was almost as if Josh Johnson was blocking.
Yeah.
Going downfield on a stalk block on a defensive back. And there was definitely a miscommunication there. And now third down.
Again, you've only had 4 practices, and so you're working on that. We're going to have Mark McKenzie check out that little go-through device later on. Man in motion, handoff, down the middle, banging forward, trying to dive for the 5-yard line where you're going to have a chance for a first down, and a good run that time by number 22. That 23, Bryce Cox again. Bryce Cox with some power running. 20 seconds to go. And Pennsylvania rising up on that right side of the line with 14 seconds to go here in the half. It'll be second down now for Maryland. Definitely in field goal range. But they're looking for more than a field goal right now.
Definitely. I mean, when you get this close to the end zone, it gets more difficult. The space kind of shrinks on you, and you don't have the space to be able to get the ball out where you want it. So, you have a combination of power football sometimes. Sometimes you have you have receivers that are tall and that like to go get it. You can put it up on a fade route or something like that and see if you can get a touchdown here. But again, if you can score, this is a big deal if you can get a touchdown and not a field goal, and that keeps you really in the game if you're Maryland.
And the guy they've liked in this game so far has been Max Moss, number 8. He has been a preferred target. Again, Leatherberry, another guy out there, number 1, is another guy they've gone to from Wycomico, going to Morgan State. So we'll see what we come up with here. By the way, Pennsylvania Sports Agency helps high school and collegiate student athletes with name, image, and likeness opportunities and contracts. Their agents bring an unparalleled combination of sports experience and legal expertise to the NIL landscape. Get fair representation from an agency you can trust. Learn more at www.pasportsagency.com. And there you see some of the crowd here tonight that's packed in here pretty well. Really great to see these people out on Memorial Day weekend. 14 seconds to go. Big play coming up here for Maryland. Second down and 5. Pass out in the flat. Is he going to get in? Dives for the end zone. Bangs it down. Looks like it's short from the line. And it's going to be 3 seconds to go in the half. Now 1, now 0. They did not get the play off.
That's a hard one.
And that is a heartache city right there. It is halftime at Bishop McDevitt High School, 17-7. Pennsylvania leads Maryland in the 66th Big 33 football game. And it was ever so close as he tried to bang it down and get it across. Couldn't quite do it. He was down there. You saw it. Never got across the line. That close. Still an exciting game here so far. Pennsylvania and Maryland head to the half. We'll do the same. And we'll be back with more right after this.
PA Sports Agency helps high school and collegiate student athletes with name, image, and likeness opportunities and contracts. Our agents bring an unparalleled combination of sports experience and legal expertise to the NIL landscape. They have over 16 years of experience working with high school athletes, including the Mr. PA football program, football camps, and 7-on-7 teams. Let PA Sports Agency help you find profitable NIL opportunities and create contracts that protect the student athlete. Get fair representation from an agency you can trust. Learn more at pasportsagency.com.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
I could become an engineer.
I could become a doctor. Because I went to Bishop McDevitt.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
We are Bishop McDevitt High School. We are moral, Catholic, challenging, and diverse. We strive daily to live our legacy of faith, family, excellence, and tradition. We welcome you to the Bishop McDevitt family.
Today's professional skill tip will involve using one-handed shooting to bring balance and stability to the shot. I teach young players to balance the ball in one hand, in close, to establish a squared-up foundation when shooting. The one-hand shooting further out forces the player to stay square, reinforcing balance and lift on the shot. This one-handed emphasis will only help with leg power and the ball rolling off the one hand, developing more control and overall shot balance.
The one-handed shooting is the fundamental tool I use to develop advanced shooters.
And welcome back to Bishop McDevitt. It's not just the guys playing football, it's the cheerleaders who have been doing a great job the last few days. Let's take a look at what they have in terms of routine for us right here at half, the Big 33 cheerleaders. And welcome back to Bishop McDevitt High School. Very entertaining halftime show here by the cheerleaders. A lot of work put on there, and you can see nonstop excitement. We are going to get ready here and take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to a guy who runs the Pennsylvania Sports Agency, Wade Marsico, right here in Vica Sports, bringing you the Big 33 game. And welcome back. And we had a chance to get an interview with Wade Marsico. And Wade, of course, with PA Sports Agency, they're doing a great job with some of the new NIL stuff that's going on and representing athletes. And we thought it'd be good to chat with Wade. They are with PA Sports Agency, our premier sponsor here tonight. And let's go to Wade right now.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer.
Thanks, Gary. I'm with Wade Marsico with PA Sports Agency, and Wade is one of the major sponsors of tonight's game. A great first half, and Wade, thank you for being a major sponsor of this event and coming out and supporting the kids. You guys do such a great job.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being with you here today. We're proud to sponsor a great event like the Big 33.
Sounds good. Well, these guys are associated with this new thing that's been going on recently with high school and college athletes being able to have, you know, promotions and be sponsored and stuff like that with their name and stuff. And you guys are a big driver in this and part of this new NIL. Tell me a little bit about that and what you guys do.
Yeah, well, what we want to do is a lot of families and athletes aren't really aware of what actually NIL is, so we want to educate them about the process. We want to give them profitable opportunities and make sure that they have really stress that they're fair contracts. There's been some pitfalls and problems in the early stages of NIL, and we don't want that to happen. We want to eliminate those.
Tell me a little bit about your organization and the people behind it, because, you know, you're certified in PA and NCAA certified for NIL, and that's big. But you also have two other people in the organization that are behind that and make sure this is done right, the contracts are right, and the kids are represented right.
Yes, we're one of the few Pennsylvania-based NIL agencies that have 3 registered athletic agents.
That's great.
One of them's a lawyer who writes up all the contracts, makes sure everything's fair between the companies or the corporations and our clients, the athletes. Then we have another agent who was Ron Marsico. So we have 3 there. Then we do have, our group has an NCAA approved scouting service.
And they can find out, any parents out there or athletes out there that are interested in trying to figure out, more about NIL, they go directly to your website, PASportsAgency.com?
Yes, go directly to our website. We have pertinent information on there, and you can do some research and find out a little bit about what we do.
Very valuable to students like that are on the field here today, and those kids that are coming up trying to wade those waters and figure out what's going on. You guys also are involved in 2 other great programs. Last night we had a chance to put one on and we streamed it, and that's Mr. PA, and last night was Mr. and Mrs. PA basketball. 2 great events. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Okay, yeah. The Mr. and Miss PA basketball, we had new Penn State coach Mike Rhodes as the keynote speaker. Great event. Keeps growing each year. It was in its 10th year this year. We had 144,000 votes throughout the voting process this year. Some of our past winners have been Cam Reddish, and plays in the NBA, and Lonnie Walker.
So Mr. PA football, of course, that's a great one as well.
Yeah, Mr. PA football. I mean, our keynote speaker this past year was Pat Flaherty, the Rutgers offensive line coach. We had Coach James Franklin, the Penn State coach, as a keynote in the past, and also Pat Narduzzi at Pitt was also a keynote speaker. And we have a long list of recognizable names that have won the award, like Miles Sanders and Saquon Barkley, Nick Singleton, who's at Penn State this year, Tyler Boyd, Micah Parsons was the lineman, a winner. This past year, I think we had 143,000 votes. For football, and it's been long established. This is our 13th year, and we've been working with high school athletes now for 16 years.
Wow, that's amazing. We had a chance to stream Mr. PA football as well. What a great event. So we need to wrap things up, unfortunately, but I want people to be able to find out, again, the NIL, big things going on right now. So students and parents, if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure you contact them. And, of course, for voting and other information about Mr. PA football, Mr. and Mrs. PA basketball, and 7-on-7 tournaments and all kinds of stuff, where do they go?
They go to www.pasportsagency.com.
Sounds good. Well, Wade, thank you again for taking the time to talk with us, and especially for helping out to sponsor tonight's game. It's been a great game, and you guys do an awesome job.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, second half coming up.
And at halftime here at Bishop McDevitt High School, they have the Hall of Fame class of 2023. And members of that class being introduced out there, Gary Gauss, who's a 1975 graduate of Portage High School. Gary became an assistant coach at Portage, and later on coached at Bishop Carroll for 2 years, and a big career there. Rick Keeley is yet another one, a 1971 graduate of St. Pius X High School in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. We've got Bob Palco. A lot of people remember him. West Allegheny High School. His son Tyler, a pretty darn good player then. He was selected as the Don Shula NFL High School Coach of the Year. And Mike Reese, who was a 1984 graduate from Susquehanna University, took a job as an English teacher at Garnett Valley High School, in September of 1984, and after 2 years of the volunteer system was named the head coach, a position he held until his retirement in June of 2022, so a long stint there from 1994 to 2022. And Jeff Wechter, who is the head coach here at Bishop McDevitt High School, he was named the AP and PA Football News 4A State Coach of the Year and District 3 Coach of the Year in 2010 and 13. He was head coach of the 2012 Chesapeake Bowl winners, a game which featured numerous players who went on to the NFL. Jeff also featured speaker on the topic of Bishop McDevitt offense, speaking at the University of Notre Dame Coaches Clinic. And so Jeff Wechter, one of those 5 coaches in the Hall of Fame, the 6 coaches in the Hall of Fame, rather, and an outstanding group here at half. Well, one of the guys that coordinates this whole thing is the executive director of the Big 33, and his name is Gary Cathell. Let's check in with Gary right now on what it all takes for him and the Big 33 to take place on a night like this.
We're with Gary Cathell. He's the executive director of the Big 33. It's not just a football game, though, right?
No, it's not. It's more than just a game. It's one of our monikers that we thrive with. You know, we have all of our, obviously our football end of things, but, you know, we have other programs that we're very, very proud of. The buddy program, the cheerleading program, the host family program. This game would not be this game without them.
Yeah, this game it has changed a lot over the years. East, West, it was Ohio, Maryland came in. Tell us a little bit about this specific, the 2023 edition.
Well, we've just signed a new contract with Maryland. Maryland and Maryland Coaching Association and our Coaches Association have a real good relationship. We're excited to keep this rivalry going here. It looks like that, I expect Maryland to come up here with some pretty nice teams here.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, one final question. What should folks at home be watching for tonight? The football, the team building, what should they be watching for?
Well, when you have these all-star teams and you have these great athletes, they bond together so fast. They are able to come together as a team, not only with the X's and O's, but they really bond as friends. And one of the things about becoming part of the Big 33 family, they feel like they're going to be part of an alumni group. They're excited about, being here. Their communities know about Big 33, and, they're going to get to watch you guys on TV. So, it's a great experience for everybody.
Coach, thanks a lot. Looking forward to a great night.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Gary Cathell, the executive director of the Big 33, doing a great job. Former coach himself out in Western PA for a long time. Well, this is Memorial Day weekend, and we love to recognize those who gave the ultimate sacrifice tomorrow and recognize the efforts that our military does in keeping liberty and freedom here, that we can do these kind of things tonight, Jerome. And we had a chance to talk with the Deputy Adjutant General of the Pennsylvania National Guard. She was here tonight. Her name, Laura McHugh, and I had a chance to talk with her earlier this evening. Let's hear what she had to say. We're with Brigadier General Laura McHugh here, who was appointed as Deputy Adjutant General for the Pennsylvania National Guard. And she's in uniform here today, but she's not going to play, she said, but she's ready to go. And General, great to have you with us here.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Talk a little bit about what it means to come to a game like this today here, and these young people out in the field, the cheerleaders, the players, the buddies, the whole thing.
Yeah, this is no better way to celebrate Memorial Day weekend, where we're honoring and remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we are able to be here to enjoy a game like this.
Talk about the National Guard and what they're all about, because we thank people for service all the time, but somehow the National Guard sometimes goes by without being thanked appropriately.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the National Guard Pennsylvania is the second largest Army Guard in the nation. And it's filled with just amazing people that are guardsmen on the inside, and on the outside they're doctors, they're teachers, they're police officers, prison guards. So we're very blessed and fortunate to have some of the most amazing Americans in the Pennsylvania Army Guard.
You know what it's like to serve. You were at Operation Iraqi Freedom in Iraq, and talk a little bit about your service.
Yeah, no greater honor for me. I mean, this is all I've ever wanted to do. I'm in 38 years now. Nothing in life gives me more purpose than serving in this uniform. So.
Well, I really appreciate having you here at the game day. Hope you enjoy it. Have a great time, and we'll look forward to seeing you sometime soon.
Thanks so much, and go Pennsylvania.
And welcome back here to Bishop McDevitt High School, where we are at halftime. And when we come back, maybe we'll have a chance to talk about the go-through, the go route, and that little device that's being used here tonight. Mark McKenzie with that. When we come back, all here. This is the Invicta presentation of the Big 33 matchup with Maryland and Pennsylvania. Back with more right after this.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invicta has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invicta is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invicta, providing affordable HD video solutions.
PA Sports Agency helps high school and collegiate student athletes with name, image, and likeness opportunities and contracts. Our agents bring an unparalleled combination of sports experience and legal expertise to the NIL landscape. They have over 16 years of experience working with high school athletes, including the Mr. PA football program, football camps, and 7-on-7 teams. Let PA Sports Agency help you find profitable NIL opportunities and create contracts that protect the student athlete. Get fair representation from an agency you can trust. Learn more at pasportsagency.com.
Today's Advanced Hoops tip will feature Archie Smith, our speed and agility expert.
The block jumping drill is meant to develop the fast twitch jumping muscles in a young player's legs. This drill forces a player to jump constantly and should be fast-paced while clearing the block every time. Players will develop explosive jumping skills doing this, and it trains a player's body to jump quicker and have the endurance needed to jump in game situations.
The block jumping drill is one fundamental a player will learn in my class.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish. With 6 locations, Groff Tractor is always nearby your equipment needs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Olympics, they always have the next. You know, normally when you hear about a go route, it's a pattern that you run in a pass play. But here in this game tonight, for the first time ever in a game, we're using a device called a go route. Mark McKenzie is finding out what it's all about down on the sidelines. Mark?
Billy Splain, who is the media relations guy, jack of all trades, right?
Pretty much, yeah. You know, when you're on the Big 33 staff, you have an assignment, but when it comes to this thing, you have many assignments.
And one of these assignments is, you know, you're the guy who brought Go Route to this game. Talk a little bit about what Go Route is.
Okay, so like I run a website called PAFootballNews.com, and Go Route is a sponsor on my website. And I said to them, I said, you know, let's bring Go Route to the Big 33, because Go Route, what it is basically, it looks like a little cell phone that you hang on your thing, and the coaches on the sidelines have all their plays scripted out just like you would if you were a coach, but it's on the computer, and the coach just hits a button and it goes out to them. They look at it and they drop their thing and they already have their play. So it saves a ton of time with all the signaling that they do on the sideline. And this is a system that's been out for quite a few years now, but they've developed it and they've honed it, and there are many NCAA teams who are using it. And as a matter of fact, it's probably going to be approved by the NCAA for use in games within the next 2 years.
So this particular device is not, it's just taking the place of maybe the old armband that you might see a quarterback, where it's a short hand.
And what it does is it also takes away all the signaling on the sideline. So you don't have cards and letters and all that kind of stuff anymore. They just see it and they drop it and they go. So your routes are explained just like, as I said, the X's and O's and little diagrams. You just look at it. It was designed by Go Route to help teams with their scout team preparation every week. So it increases their reps threefold. So you get 3 times as many reps on your scout team.
Who better to explain it than Billy Splain?
That's a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Well done, Mark. He had some explaining to do. He did a pretty good job of that, I'd say. Well, the game doesn't end just tonight. We have to get ready for next year, too. And so there are 2 coaches that have been chosen for next year. It's kind of like the Olympics. When you're leaving town with the Olympics, you got to come up with the next place you're going to, right? Well, in this case, you have to have the next coach. Well, first of all, for PA for next year, 2024, it was head coach Tom Gravish. Let's check in with Tom and see what he's looking forward to next year. When they close down the Olympics, they always have the next city they're going to. Well, in this case, we've got the Big 33 game, and you say 2023, that's all matters? No, 2024 matters too. And we've got the head coach here, Tom Gravish, for 2024. And, Coach, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be named by the Coaches Association to be head coach in this classic game.
Talk a little bit about the process to get to be head coach for the Big 33, because it's not just something that someone reaches out of a hat. There's a little time spent.
Yeah, I think the common things they're looking for is you've participated in the All-Star game before. I've had the opportunity to be in the Big 33 game as an assistant coach when we played Ohio. We didn't make out so well, so try to do better in 2024. But I had an opportunity to coach in the other PSFCA All-Star games with the East-West as an assistant and as a head coach. Feel very blessed to have all those opportunities and going to do our best to represent Pennsylvania very well.
Coach Steve Erkslaven, you have coached this game twice before, but tonight you're here, and you don't have anything to say about what's happening. What's that going to be like for you?
I don't know if I don't have anything to say. I'm here just to support our Maryland side. We have a player, Caleb Herbert, played for us at South River High School in Edgewater, Maryland. So I'm just here to support them, support the state, and also support this event. This event is awesome.
Yeah, you were talking about this Football America kind of idea.
It's a slice of life. You know, you don't see, I think if my history is correct, this is one of the oldest All-Star games in the country. It's at a high school stadium, which is a little bit unique. And just the way the whole event is organized, how happy people are, it's awesome.
They're excited to be here.
For high school football.
Now, you were saying that since you've coached this game before, that it must be hard to get people motivated, but you had a real unique take on that.
So one of our selling points, hopefully in 2024 with our team is, every single one of you is going to play in the fall for some college university across the country, and every one of your coaches is going to watch the game. So are you trying out for playing time now? Is this an extension of training camp for you? I think the answer would be yes. So this is showing you're not going to go out here. You're going to say a lot out here to your college coach on how you conduct yourself in play.
So your assessment of what might happen tonight, Maryland has had a tough time winning this game. They've showed up. They were, do you think they've got a – well, I hate to ask you for a prediction.
I'm a little bit biased. I was very fortunate in 2018 to coach on the staff. We won 9-6.
Yeah.
And, Coach Reggie White did an absolute great job. Our coaches did a great job. It was a lot of fun. And the kids really seemed to value the win. And you know what? We expect to win. We got good players. We were well organized, good coaches here. It's going to be a great game.
Coach, thanks very
much. Thank you very much.
Good luck this year and next year.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Right.
(17-7) here at the half at Rocco Hortenzio Field here at Bishop McDevitt High School in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I want to take a very quick look at our halftime highlights and our stats before we get started in the second half. And here you see it. Great run on the Wildcat. That was Jameel Perryman, a 52-yard scamper in the opening series here. Jerome, and then it was answered on the other side by Bryce Cox for Maryland. Got it back to 10-7. And this kick away, and I'll tell you what, this was the highlight of the first half. Sincere Smith from Westinghouse. Take a look. What a move on the punt. And he just found his way the whole way down the field, picked his way, used a combination of speed and finding the hole, lining up his blockers and heading on home and then bouncing into the end zone for a huge run back. Here are the stats at the half. Take a look at those and tell me what you see.
I mean, what I see is the passing game for Maryland. They've been able to get some big chunk plays, but total yards, they're about even. There haven't been a lot of penalties, so it's been a pretty clean game. You only had 5 penalties between the two teams. Only the one turnover that Maryland had, and we have a score of 17-7, where Maryland had an opportunity to actually put points on the board right at the end of the game, and they could not do it, and that's why we're at 17-7.
Came up 1/2 yard short there at the end, and we're ready to start the second half here. 12 minutes in the third quarter, and kicking it off for Pennsylvania will be Ben Cisnowski this time. Cisnowski has a field goal in the first half as well. Look at the foot on this guy. He's heading to St. Francis next year. I tell you what, they have a big-time kicker. And great job at getting downfield here, and a penalty flag is thrown, however, and we'll see what that's all about. Pennsylvania leading at 17-7. They've won the last 3 games over Maryland in this series. Maryland trying to look to break that up tonight, obviously.
And the one thing is, in those 3 games, Maryland's struggle with scoring points. I mean, they really struggled to get the ball in the end zone a lot against PA.
Face mask, personal foul. So it favors Maryland as we'll walk it in their direction. Good way for them to start the second half.
So you talk about Maryland last year, 28-7 loss to PA. But the year before, 2021, was 20-0. And then in 2019, due to not having the COVID game in 2020, 21-0. So,
right.
7 points in 3 games.
We're
So
going to go off this 7 number here, right?
Right.
So Maryland trips near side. Handoff. Trying to find some running room, and does. Out near the 40-yard line. Good handoff here to start the second half. Sean Williams Jr. with the run off the right side. 5'10", 180-pound running back out of Milford Mill Academy. Another guy going to University of Pennsylvania next year. I'm going to start watching the Quakers next year.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
I'll tell you, there are a lot of players here from teams I want to watch. I mean, Shepherd University has a few especially from the Maryland side. East Stroudsburg coming into Harrisburg and plucking a couple athletes this way, and one in the Big 33 too. So there's a lot of schools that'll have some good talent coming their way.
2nd down and 2 at the 42-yard line here for Maryland. Handoff. Look at the backfield. And who was that? Mr. Robel showed up there. Riley Robel, he's played in this field a few times, just barreling his way through. He was on that Bishop McDevitt State Championship team this year. Take a look at him.
And just penetration in the backfield, I'll tell you, James Madison is going to love this kid, and he's a hard worker, just amazing against the run. He'll still develop, so when he gets there, he'll be able to do some good things there.
3rd down and 11 now. Big loss in the play there. 6'3", 300 pounds, by the way, Robel. High snap, trying to find a way out of there. Coming near side. Throwing it ahead, a shovel pass. Haven't seen that in a long time, and it looked like it was complete.
Yeah, that was an interesting play, and I'll tell you what, those shuffle pass, that distance, it just kind of hung there for a while.
So desperation, you take it. Yeah.
You take it. But again, you don't want to get attacked behind the line of scrimmage.
Give him credit for some creativity there, Johnson, as he threw it ahead, and catching up with it is Trey Goodrich. Good set of hands, so a little bit of room here, a little bit more room to kick that ball. 9:52 to go here in the third quarter. Pennsylvania holds. Alan Jow. Going to try to angle it away here to the near side, and crosses right around looks like around the 38-yard line, maybe even further than that upfield. Wow. Out near the 47, it crossed over. Looked like he was trying to angle it away. And instead, great field position here for Pennsylvania.
And that's when Pennsylvania gets good field position, they've been able to do some things with it. And that's the one thing Maryland has to not do is allow PA to have short fields. And again, once you do that, get the ball into these playmakers' hands, one catch, you're in the red zone, or one big play, you're in the red zone, and then you're in trouble. So if you're Maryland. So 17-7, Maryland's defense at times has played very well. They want to come back out and kind of establish themselves again in the second half and give the ball back to their offense.
Colin O'Sullivan, the quarterback this time. O'Sullivan out of Upper Dublin, going to Rutgers next year. 6 foot, 180-pound quarterback here. What a run right over the right side for Pennsylvania. Into Maryland territory down near the 47-yard line. Good slashing run that time by Nigel Linton from Whitehall. We've been impressed with him tonight.
Yeah, and especially running north-south. When any running back gets a chance to put his foot in the dirt and go north-south, that's where good things usually happen.
Only 5'8", one of those guys that's tough to pick up running. Stays low, and he's kind of darting in and out, and you just have that moment where you don't have a look at him.
Right.
And he's away.
And again, when you have such a big offensive line, you know, and you're short, you can hide behind those guys, kind of like a Darren Sproles type of back, and then squirt out.
Second down 4, trips near side. O'Sullivan stepping up in, flag down on the far side of the field. And let's see what the call is. And not a very happy look there from O'Sullivan. So the tackle on the play there made by Abraham Ologbemi from Arundel, going to Bowie State University next year, is false start. Declined by Maryland. We'll bring up third down now. 3rd and 7 here for Pennsylvania. Kind of feel like this is a real key moment here for Maryland. Get them stopped somewhere here, get some decent field position coming back.
I agree, and again, the defense is, if they can get this stop, they've shown again they can get some stops here, and this is a big one here.
There's O'Sullivan throwing it far side. It has his man for the first down. Good route over on the far side, down near the 41-yard line.
And O'Sullivan took a lick and still delivered the dart on that play. So that was, you know, sometimes the quarterback has to hang in there and deliver a strike, and O'Sullivan did it on that play.
The guy who caught it was Daquan McGraw from Steel High, who just stepped in yesterday and replaced Tyshawn Russell, and gets a big catch right here to keep it going for Pennsylvania. Good catch and throw there, and a good route run by McGraw. I think he was only out there for 1 or 2 practices. So here's O'Sullivan. He's got his team moving right now. Near side run, trying to get to the corner, and he's going to get some yardage. Nigel Linton again. They've used Nigel Linton a lot tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Nigel is showing some explosiveness out of the backfield, and again, he's not breaking big, huge runs, but he's moving the chains, and that's what you need, a ball carrier that can move the chains. 5'8", 185 pounds. He's not a huge guy, huge player out of Whitehall, heading to Wilkes.
Here's O'Sullivan now. 1st and 10 again as Pennsylvania on the march here to start the second half. Straight forward, stood up there at the line. A good job by Maryland. Led that particular time by Dustin Hotel from Damascus High School, heading to Susquehanna University up in Selinsgrove next year. So he's heading from Maryland to Pennsylvania. Look at that. Boy, he stood him up nicely.
Good defense, a solid wall from that Maryland defense. And again, Pennsylvania's getting first downs. Maryland is not making it easy. They want to definitely come up, keep tackling well. That's the big thing in these games. You haven't played in months, so tackling is always big.
Sullivan looking over the middle, intercepted by Maryland. And Maryland gets what they wanted here, and rumbling down the near sideline. Could he go all the way? Interception. He might have had a knee down before he got in.
Yep.
But what an interception. What a turnaround here. And the interception made by number 24, Nate Furrow from Bel Air, going to Marist University next year, and a huge interception here at the 6:56 mark in the third quarter.
And Furrow was just in the passing lane. Quarterback didn't see him in the passing lane, picks it off, and then he becomes a running back, and he actually does a good job of breaking tackles. And then again, a touchdown saving tackle. That's a hustle play right there in an all-star game. You always want to see that.
What a great interception by Nate Furrow. He puts his team in business right away here in the third quarter. What a turnaround of momentum. And now can Maryland cash it in? So Maryland getting their offensive team on the field right now. Looks like they might be running the Wildcat here with Bryce Cox. Let's see. That's exactly what they're doing. Cox back there at the quarterback spot. Trying to get a man in place there. They have 11 on the field. Cox gets it. Cox taking off. Cox drops it. It's going to be picked up. Is it fumbled? Yes, it is. Who has it? Pennsylvania says they do. Let's see. He never had a clean snap.
Well, once it goes on the ground, everyone has a shot at it, and then so many things happen in the pile. It could change hands 4 different times, and it looks like Maryland may come away with this.
They get another reprieve, right? We've had
Another
a
few.
Yeah.
And this is big. I mean, you get that amazing play, basically a momentum shifting play, and the first play after that happens, you have a possible turnover. It's in the red zone. You're right there on the 5-yard line, and an opportunity to go in, and you
So
make a
Maryland
mistake.
lost a couple yards there. They're back around the 6-yard line now, so it'll be second down and goal from the 6. Wow. That's what happens when you only have a few days practice and you're getting the hook up there with the guy that's hiking the ball. There he goes again, and he's going to be swarmed under at the 5-yard line. Not very big pickup on the play. It'll be bring up third down now and goal. Wait, Pennsylvania was all over at that time.
And
we saw number 7 there, Samaj Bridge, when we called his number from the chart. He was right there on top of the play, along with number 12, Jameel Lyons from Roman Catholic, going to Penn State next year.
And we have another penalty, but again, we got to highlight the big guys. Brandon Fuentes, 6'4", 340-pound center for the Maryland side out of Damascus, headed to Bloomsburg University.
Wow.
So he's coming to Pennsylvania in a
These
PSAC.
Maryland guys crossing the Mason-Dixon, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be third down now.
That's a big kid.
Let's see where they finally put the ball down here. Is they're going to march it down, I think, halfway to the goal line.
Personal foul on Pennsylvania.
Personal foul, third down, still goal, a little bit of shoving afterward. So they've tried to run it twice. And obviously that front line for Pennsylvania is pretty sturdy. Let's see what Maryland comes up with in this play. Maybe a sprint out and a pass of some kind?
Yeah, that's something. You may have to get a little creative because that defense for Pennsylvania is swarming to the ball. And again, linebackers can't blitz, but they can react. So if they see a play, they can come right off the line of scrimmage and do what they have to do.
They're back in the Wildcat again with Bryce Cox. Cox has it. Cox is going to get in. Cox is in as he waves it. Cox with a 3-yard, make that a 3-yard run at 5:45 of the third quarter, and Bryce Cox with his second touchdown of the night on that Wildcat. Hey, never say never, right?
And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for Maryland. An opportunity. You get that big play on a turnover, that has to be 6. You know, anything less than that is a disappointment, and they get it.
You got it right. And so 17-13 now. Are they going to go for 2 here?
And think about that, Gary. For the first time in 4 years, Maryland has scored more than 7 points in a Big 33 game.
And there we go.
It's a big deal.
Damian Powell says, I don't want to just do that. I want to win it.
He wants to win it. And now you're in striking distance and an opportunity, but PA is not going to lay down at all for him, and they're going to make it difficult.
Here's Alan Zhao now in for the extra point to try to bring him within a field goal. 5:45 mark of the third quarter. Snap down, kick up. Kick looks like it might. We got another little pushing and shoving there. And the kick is good. So it's 17-14 now. Pennsylvania's lead has shrunk to 3, and there you see a nice piece of running once again by a guy who's been doing a good job all night long, Bryce Cox. Bryce Cox heading off to play next year at Georgetown University.
Yeah, I mean, Cox, like I said, I think he'll get on campus and learn the system and see if he can make his way.
PA Sports Agency helps high school and collegiate student athletes with name, image, and likeness opportunities and contracts. Don't miss out on NIL opportunities. Their agents will help you secure profitable contracts that are airtight. Get fair representation from an agency you can trust. Learn more at www.pasportsagency.com. And Renewal Cares. Quality, innovation, craftsmanship. Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania has revolutionized the window and door replacement business with their world-class products. Renewal believes in investing in the communities in which they live and work. A big thank you to Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania for your support. Contact them for a free estimate. So Pennsylvania now is asked to answer the bell.
Again, they have to, and we've seen momentum shifts back and forth in this game.
Well, when you think about it, aside from Sincere Smith's run back late in the second quarter, they've really not had a whole lot of offense since that opening set. And Maryland has really been the aggressor here and trying to get back in this football game.
And big plays have a way of swinging that momentum in your direction. Now for Maryland, their job is to not give it up. And that means that defense comes back on the field. They're coming back off of a turnover that turned into 6 points, 7 points with the extra point. And you want to keep that momentum going. You want to keep tackling well. You want to keep reacting. You want to keep making sure that you do all the things necessary to keep that momentum on your side on the defensive end to give the ball back to your offense in good situations.
Now we talk about the alumni. This is the Super Bowl of all-star games in high school football, but the alumni in last year's Super Bowl, we had a whole bunch of guys in there. Chad Henne, Miles Sanders, Frank Clark, and Brett Veach all played in the Big 33 game, the game in which Kansas City beat Philadelphia 38-35 last year. So 4 of the Big 33 alumni on that. The year before, only 1.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd for Cincinnati.
Yeah, we were looking at it. Is this going to be the year we may not have one? And then we get one, which is great. And then we've had a couple of years that were like that. Back in '51, Super Bowl 51, Matt Schaub was a solo Super Bowl player in that one. So we've had a couple of those, but most of the time you get more than one. You get a few in Super Bowls for the most part.
So here's a kickoff coming up from Maryland, from Jal, who's been busy now tonight so far. He's got Perryman this time, and Perryman can go. We already saw what he did earlier in the game with that big run back, and every time he touches the ball, it's like the excitement reel.
Right. And here's the thing, though, Gary. Many of these players, and matter of fact, all of these players were stars where they were. Many of these players that are stars didn't play special teams. They weren't doing kickoff coverage. Now they have to come to an all-star game and do kick coverage. So it becomes something that you haven't done. It's the dirty work, the grunt work sometimes, and they have to kind of rise to the occasion to do it. And it's something that they probably haven't done all in high school. Some maybe, but for the most part, you're not doing that.
So Pennsylvania asked to answer now. They're up by 3, 5:39 to go here in the third quarter. Here's your handoff, slash over the right side. Nice job, quick gain of about 3 yards on the play. As Colin O'Sullivan's still in there at quarterback.
And again, that defense for Maryland trying to tighten up down there in the trenches and doing a good job tackling. That's what you want. Second and 3 yards, you were able to hold to 3, and now you got to come out and continue. And for Pennsylvania, where are the big plays? They got to get back to the explosive plays that open up the offense. Right now, Maryland is playing really tight and really trying to keep Pennsylvania bottled up. And PA needs one of those big plays to spark that offense again.
The ball spotted right now at the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 here for Pennsylvania. Colin O'Sullivan. And then you get Kenny Johnson. He's excitement as well. Kenny Johnson on the wide receiver around down to the 40-yard line now for Johnson. Probably be about a yard or 2 short of the first down. A lot of shoving. Got a little chippy here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think, originally you get the pageantry of the game, but once the game starts, it's football. And then you get the chippiness that happens and you're still in the game. I mean, these guys are playing football, and that's what it is. And I think you see the passion on both sides.
In case you thought they weren't here to win, yeah, they are. And they came up a little bit further out than that. He's about 3 yards short. It'll be 3rd down and 3 now for Pennsylvania. Big 3rd down and 3. You don't want to turn it over here again, although I have a feeling they're in 4-down territory. I'm not sure.
They could be, yeah. I agree with you on that.
So in motion again goes Johnson. This time quarterback keeper out of the Wildcat. And look who's got it. It's Perryman. Perryman around the near side. Perryman heading for the end zone. Perryman is going to get in or not.
No, it looks like he's going to be a little short, but man, does he have some jets at getting around the outside. He really does, and the offensive line did a great job of sealing it, and he took it the rest of the way.
Jameel Perryman, who's chosen as an athlete by the coaches in this team, and I wonder why. Take a look.
5'9", 170-pounder, headed to St. Francis. I'm telling you, St. Francis is getting some players.
We got to watch them next
Let's talk about that.
Get some TV time for those
They're
guys,
getting
right?
some TV time today. St. Francis is getting some TV time here today.
Perryman on the Wildcat carries it right in for the touchdown, and just like that, Pennsylvania answers as Perryman gets his 2nd touchdown of the night on a dash from about 1 yard out, and man, what an answer very quickly here for Pennsylvania.
And that's exactly what you wanted to do from Pennsylvania, is come out, all that momentum that went to Maryland's side. Now you come right back, drive down the field. It wasn't easy. The whole drive wasn't the easiest, but you did the things you need to do. And then we talked about chunk plays, and then we get a big one from Perryman, getting upfield on a chunk play, gets them down and deep into the red zone, and they're able to score the next play.
So Bryce Cox with a couple of touchdowns for Maryland tonight. Perryman with 2. And, of course, the highlight reel run by Sincere Smith for the 5th touchdown. So now the kick is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Does a nice job of not nailing it right on through there. Ben Sosnowski, who's going to St. Francis, another guy.
St. Francis, come on now.
We've been calling that name a lot tonight. By the way, Highmark Blue Shield and Penn State Health are proud to be all-star cheer program sponsors for the 2023 Big 33 game. Highmark Blue Shield is more than just a health plan because we collaborate with Penn State Health. You have a whole team that's here to support you and your health with every play. Now that's what we call a game changer. 4:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and we got ourselves a good one. 24-14. Let's see if Maryland has an answer. As there you see Perryman. See if Mark McKenzie maybe gets a chance to hook up with him. We tried to get him earlier, but not because he scored a touchdown. Just had the wrong number. So Mark's going to maybe hook up here with Perryman and see what we can find out there. Wow, what a runner.
Now PA has the momentum. Now let's see what can Maryland do.
So let's go down to Mark McKenzie. He's got Jameel Perryman down there, who just ran for the touchdown after a great run to set it up.
So,
Mark?
Jameel, you've got your 2nd touchdown. What happened at halftime? What did you guys talk about?
So we realized that they weren't really playing man-to-man how they're supposed to. So Coach started throwing crossing routes that, across the field, so they have to run with us. And then we came back with our powers, and it's speed on speed and big on big. I don't think they're rocking with us.
There you go. Jameel Perryman.
Hey, how about that? He's got some confidence, doesn't he?
Yes. I don't think they're rocking with us. We need to get that on a shirt, or he needs to get that on a shirt.
There you go. It's good. Maybe that's an NIL thing, right?
Yes.
It's good to be young again, man. I'll tell you what. It's fun to watch these kids tonight, and they're just having a great time. Got a little rough and tumble here in the 3rd quarter, but, officials done a pretty good job with it. Players have calmed down pretty quickly, and that's where we are. So Maryland now asked to answer the bell, as Pennsylvania did just a few moments ago. I'm almost saying Penn State a few times, so being careful in that.
There's a couple of Penn State players that are headed to Penn State.
Exactly.
So not wrong.
Look at this. Going for a whole bundle, and he's out wide open downfield. What a throw. Is that Peliciati again with that throw? I mean, that thing went like 70, 80 yards. Make that about 70 in the air.
Yeah. And then you saw the separation at the top of the route, a good ball, and exactly what Maryland wanted to do. You don't just come down and you answer quickly, and that's a good big play, chunk play for them.
Look at Peliciati. He throws it from the 15, and it's going to be caught down near the 35-yard line by his favorite target, Max Moss, tonight from Archbishop Spalding, who's going to James Madison next year. What a throw and catch. Man, this game has turned into a big play game, hasn't it?
Shootout, yes, indeed.
So Peliciati, handoff, across the far side, slashing forward, down near the 10, inside the 10, down near the 8, maybe the 6-yard line now. So Maryland right away says, hey, we ain't going down.
And
Good
again,
piece of running there by Sean Williams Jr. again from Milford Mill Academy.
yeah, and again, you want to be in striking distance. And if Pennsylvania scores, you have to answer. If you do not answer, then it can be a lot worse. So answering here is important, and it keeps you in striking distance for an opportunity to take this game from PA later if they can.
Alciati calls out the signals here. Ball spotted at the 7-yard line, first down and goal. And handoff off the right side again. Not much room there. He might get down to the 5, maybe the 4. So it's Sean Williams Jr. again. Sean Williams Jr., 5'10", 180-pound running back. So it brings up second down now and goal at the 4-yard line as they'll spot the ball just inside the 5.
You see PA go right to Robel coming back in at that defensive end spot from the outside.
6'3", 300 pounds. And I don't know if the official had really started the play yet. Timeout call. And it's going to be for Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania calls timeout. It's the first timeout of the half. And Pennsylvania just trying to get themselves set here. Again, we've only had 4 practices over the last 2 days. You want to make sure that you're really set at least on what you're doing in this kind of situation right here where a lot of momentum has switched sides.
So you have 4 practices, and they haven't played since, most haven't played since November. You got the few that made it deep in November when they made it to the state championship, Aliquippa, the Bishop McDevitt's. But for the most part, these kids haven't played. So the biggest thing is what kind of conditioning or what kind of exercising or what kind of things have you done to get yourself football ready? That is not an easy thing to do in months.
Let's look at some of the Big 33 alumni and some of the big games. And you looked at Super Bowl number 36. You had Mark Edwards, Andy Katzenmoyer, Ty Law, Mark Bulger, remember him from the old days of pitching the ball at West Virginia. Tyoka Jackson, Orlando Pace, there's a big one. And Kim Herring in a game that New England Patriots won 20-17 over the Rams. That was one of the great Super Bowls of all time.
Look at the list from Super Bowl 39. How many players were in that?
And here we are, Maryland, trying to answer. Crossing, getting around the 5. Going to get into the end zone, and a great job, great piece of running here. And Maryland, again, has come back. And again, it's Sean Williams Jr. with a wonderful 4-yard run. It seemed to take about 10 minutes, right?
I think we have a ball game here. Right now, Maryland's not laying down. Pennsylvania is like a slugfest. One punch, somebody counters, and that's exactly what you're getting here from both of these teams. Who says that no one wants to win this game? Both of these teams want to win.
Take a look.
24, and that's just a termination breaking tackle.
Sheds 2 tackles and gets in the end zone. Sean Williams Jr. And now Zhao in to try to get it within the field goal again. 2:44 to go here in the third quarter. We've got ourselves a ball game.
And coming to the Ivy League at the University of Pennsylvania.
Snap down, kick look a little flat that time, and it is no good, and that's a big one.
That is a big one. You don't want to leave any points on the field right now. So again, losing that point, that opportunity, who knows what they can do at the end of the game.
Yeah, missed extra point here at the 2:44 mark of the third. So takes a little steam out of the touchdown, but not so much. Maryland comes back, still within 4, still within a touchdown. And back and forth we go here in the third quarter. What are you looking at in this game? What's going on right now with these two teams?
I think both teams are settling down. I think you see the coaches that are taking chances. They're taking shots. And the players are responding. And when that happens, you know that you have both clubs are into the game. They got to know each other. You're talking about that chemistry that you're not sure when it all clicks for everyone, and you're starting to see it on both sides offensively. The chemistry is there. The coaches are trusting in the players. They're taking shots downfield, and they're executing. And now you're seeing a battle. And this is what was needed for this game. After these past 3 games where only 7 points were scored for Maryland for 3 darn Big 33 games, to have 24-20 still in the third quarter, scoring happening. That's what you want to see. That's what the fans want to see.
One of the great games that Pennsylvania had of all time was with Ohio back in 1997. Pennsylvania was down with 84 seconds to go, 20-14, and they threw a pass to a guy who was known more for his defense. got him LeVar Arrington. And Pennsylvania won 21-20 in that game back in 1997. Arrington went on to have a not a bad career as a defender, right?
And man, was he an athlete. I mean, you're talking, and he took that athleticism right to Penn State and then took that athleticism to the NFL.
Well, he's made that number 11 at Penn State.
Yes,
now,
he
the number
did.
you want to wear if you're a linebacker, right?
And it's anywhere. When you see the 11 on the field anywhere,
Look
it's
at
got
this.
LeVar Arrington.
Little trickery here as they popped it up in the air to Jow and caught Pennsylvania almost napping as they covered it up at the 29-yard line, but wasn't an onside kick, but it was certainly a well-placed kick.
And sometimes those are the harder ones because there's uncertainty in your coverage or your kick coverage team. And do you catch it? Do you not catch it? Is somebody going to catch it on the return team or not? And then you cause that indecision, and then before long, the coverage is on you, and you have to make a decision and secure the ball.
So again, Pennsylvania asked to pick up the momentum and run it their way.
And they can. It's been going back and forth, and with the talent on both teams, this is what the fans wanted. The fans back at home seeing a really good game here between these two clubs.
So Pennsylvania will trot out their quarterback this time. It's Caden Olson, a 6'5" guy out of Armstrong, going to University of Pennsylvania next year. Olson with a handoff. Good little jute there in the backfield. And the handoff that time was to Mikey Bettavania out of York Suburban High School. Mikey Bettavania headed to Duquesne next year. Bettavania with a nice career at York Suburban. And let's go down right now to Mark McKenzie, who's got Sean Williams Jr. just scored that last touchdown for Maryland. Mark?
Yeah, Sean, you broke not one tackle, but two tackles.
Yeah, it was a hard play. Sometimes as a running back, you got to make stuff happen on your own, you know.
Now, you took it wide.
Right. I took it wide because everything inside was clogged. So the first instinct was beat him outside because I know nobody can catch up to my speed.
Now, anything you want to say to your folks back home?
Hope y'all enjoying watching us play. It's a good game.
Good luck.
Couldn't agree with him more, man. He's got it right. Mikey Bettavania with another little run there for Pennsylvania, down to 3rd down and 3, ball at the 37-yard line.
And I would say, Gary, you know, today's high school football athletes are probably more college ready than at any other time. I mean, football is not just a season thing. You have the season, and then you have the long off season, and these kids are putting in work in the off season.
There's Johnson in motion again. They were looking for him. Flushed out of the pocket now. Good job of getting out at the 40-yard line. Probably a first down here as Caden Olson showing his legs. Got cut down right there alongside the sideline, but not before he got a first down.
And Nate Furrow, 5'10", 200-pound from Bel Air, going to Marist University at linebacker. And again, you see 210, you may say, oh my God, goodness, that's a small linebacker. Nowadays, with the speed on the offensive side of the ball, you need linebackers that can move and cover. So you don't see a lot of those big, burly linebackers, 250, 260-pound middle linebackers. They have to be able to cover, so you see smaller guys.
Got Johnson out here one-on-one. Let's see if they decide to go to him or hand off again to Bettavania, who's scampering forward, and Bettavania might have gotten a yard in the play. Bettavania, by the way, when he played at York Suburban this year, all-state running back, offensive player of the year in his conference, 3-time first-team all-county, distinguished honor roll student, and 3,228 all-purpose yards his senior year, second most touchdowns in a year in conference history with 38. I can run.
That's something. And on the defensive side, Nate Furrow, 2-time all-conference, all-state honorable mention, Maryland Crab Bowl selection, senior season. On the offensive side, had 1,300 yards rushing.
How about that?
14 TDs.
Guy's working.
And now he's in the Big 33 making plays at linebacker.
Here's Olson handing off again and again. The Maryland defense has risen up here in the second half. And a nice piece of work that time by Matu Langa. Matu Langa from Quince Orchard, going to Towson University next year. And he came up saying, I like that play, huh? And so we head to the fourth quarter. It is 24-20. Pennsylvania leads it by the skin of their teeth. We got a good one. We're heading to the fourth quarter. We'll be back with that right after this. And welcome back to Bishop McDevitt High School for the fourth quarter of this Big 33 game. You saw them wearing that go route thing on the quarterback's belt there. That's the thing that Mark was talking about earlier. It actually draws the plays up there. 3rd down, 9. Flushed down the pocket again. Olsen trying to get out of trouble. Olsen will get out to about the 48-yard line. Where it'll be 4th down, and will Pennsylvania kick it out of there? Let's take a look and see. I would think they would, with a 4-point lead and in their own territory.
And again, that Maryland defense, they're doing a good job, and now we have a flag on the sideline.
Yeah.
So they may get PA for a sideline penalty here.
There was one of the players walking on saying throw the flag, and someone did. The official came over and threw the flag. We're not sure for what. Kenny Johnson walking out there and talking to one of the Maryland players about it, having a little chat. So the officials, I'm not sure what they must have been unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, it was interesting because I know there was something that the Pennsylvania coaches were not happy about on that play.
Right.
And then you saw the flag. So I'm not sure if there was, like you said, unsportsmanlike. You know, sometimes you'll have a sideline infraction too if there's, you know, if they've been warned to stay back. Players and coaches been warned to stay back. So it's hard to say what's going on, but
let's
we'll see.
I know if Mark might have this down the sideline. Let's go down to Mark McKenzie. Mark, any idea what's going on there right now?
We're on the other sideline. We're on the Maryland side. So, and we were not watching exactly where it happened, but we're keeping a keen eye just like you.
I've seen United Nations discussions that didn't go this long.
Now, what are you seeing from the Maryland side as far as their energy over there? It seems like they're jazzed up right now.
Oh, there's no doubt. They definitely feel that they can win this game, and Coach Powell talked about it. Coach Mitchell talked about it earlier today, and you can see it in the players. They know they have the talent to win. The funny thing is, will they have enough time?
Well, that's a big question. 11:33 to go, but only down 4 points. And now Mike Farr getting a little chat.
They have time. We'll see what they can do with that time, and can Pennsylvania stop them from doing what they want?
You wonder if there's a violation of the rules, because we don't know the percentages up here, passes, runs.
Well, usually what will happen, especially with the pass situation, is the coaches will be notified about their percentage so that they can get themselves where they need to be within that percentage.
Right.
So they did call the penalty against Maryland.
Wow.
And that was a late flag.
Very late flag.
That was a very late flag. So it looked like initially that there was a sideline, some type of violation on the sideline because of how late it was.
So the ball is actually marked back. Now they're going to walk it forward.
I don't know.
Here it comes. So now you've got illegal formation.
It's the defense.
Yeah. So it was a violation of the rules that they have set up here. Again, the rules are not what you normally see out there if you're watching, where you could do just about anything.
Yeah.
In an all-star game, because of only 4 practices, they have very definite rules here. We're looking down the whole thing here.
Yep, and even though you can't blitz, linebackers have to be certain places. Players have to be certain places on the field as well.
There's Olsen. And man, Maryland meets him in the backfield. Big time play there. Great job of leading out that time for Maryland. It was number 52, Emmanuel G. Milford Mill Academy going to Coffeyville Community College next year. What a play there by Emmanuel G. to break up the whole
6'3",
mood of Pennsylvania here. And it's going to be 4th down.
220 pounds. He's some big guys, man.
And quick. I mean,
very
that was
quick.
the thing. He
was
got
very
it quickly
quick
in the backfield, so it was really.
I know. We were standing out on the field before pregame. I'm looking at both teams, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, they got some guys that.
These are huge kids.
And it's not that they're just big; they're in shape.
Yeah.
And these guys are
quick.
and they haven't missed a lot of meals. But they're, I mean, strong. And you know, you know the weight room is a place they've visited an awful lot of time. So Pennsylvania's going to kick it out of there. And they'll let it go, and it will bounce and picked up here eventually by Maryland. And all of a sudden trying to turn it into a play at the 20-yard line.
And that's such a dangerous play. And I know, you know, you want to make a play. You're in the Big 33. It's nationally televised. You have all the fans here. You want to make a play, but that's one of those plays that you leave the ball.
There you saw Rocco Doherty making a play for Mannheim Central as he stopped the run, but he's heading off to Lock Haven University next year is Rocco. A great name for a player, Rocco, right?
Rocco. Rocco at Lock Haven University.
So, Maryland now with a chance to go down and take the lead. Down 24-20, 10 minutes to go in this one. Let's see what Maryland has up their sleeves this time. Looks like Johnson back at quarterback. Sean Johnson, relatively small guy for a quarterback in these days, 5'10", 180 pounds. Milford Mill Academy. Johnson with a screen play there. Wide receiver screen and smelled out nicely on the far side by Pennsylvania.
Good open field tackle by number 3, Damon Jacobs.
Damon Jacobs out of Bayard Rustin, Sacred Heart University next year is where he's going to be heading. But he smelled that play out. Nice little pick play there on the outside, right?
Yeah, and as a corner on the outside, you're the last line of defense out there. You have to come up and tackle. And you know, we've seen it even at the NFL level. Some cornerbacks don't want to tackle. So it's good to see one here in the Big 33 getting a little dirty here on the outside.
9:33 to go in this one. Across the middle. Oh, great catch. What a pitch by Johnson there. And found his man right in the middle of the field.
What a dart.
Yeah, it really was.
We talked about the size of that kid, and he threw a dart on that play.
And I'll tell you what, catching it was Mackay Dukes out of Patterson High School. Man, he was in traffic galore. So Dukes gets a first down here for Maryland on a great pass by Johnson. What a gun for the guy. Johnson calls it out. Johnson looks over, gets another call there from the coordinator. Now they're going to switch it up, put a little sidecar in motion here. There we go, fake the handoff, slashing up the middle. Near the line of scrimmage, brought down there by several of the Pennsylvania players. Let alone that line that time by inside linebacker Gavin Mao of Bethel Park.
And you talk about Johnson's size. I mean, you've seen quarterbacks that size have success, and it's about passing lanes, getting into those passing lanes and being able to deliver the ball because your passes may be easier batted down. So you have to use those passing lanes and be able to manipulate the defense with fakes and then get it where it needs to get to.
2nd down and 8. Johnson back, looking again. Johnson outside. He's got his man out here. Good pass again by Johnson out the 45-yard line, and a first down again for Maryland. What a tough pass, and he put it right on the guy's hands. The only guy who could catch it was a guy from Maryland.
Yeah, those sometimes are the hardest throws to make because of how far they are. That out route is difficult, and you have to have that timing there, and you saw it. It was on the money. It was there with velocity. Good catch.
And it's Leatherberry catching that. Malik Leatherberry, one of the guys we highlighted at the top of the show from Wycomico, going to Morgan State next year. Great set of hands, and they are on the move is Maryland. In motion, handed it off inside. It's going to be Mackay Dukes again, and Dukes getting forward for a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards. Mixing it up pretty nicely right now is Maryland.
Absolutely. And I definitely want to highlight Wycomico. I butchered the name in the pregame. I apologize to everyone out there in Wycomico. You know, seeing one of your players in this game doing what they need to do is great to see.
Johnson doing a nice job of leading this charge. With the legs of Duke so far and some of the catches here. This time Johnson sneaking out of there. Johnson inside the 50. The 45 steps out near the 42-yard line, but not before he gets another first down. And I'll tell you what, Johnson's showing you a lot on this series. Sean Johnson. By the way, PA Sports Agency helps high school and collegiate student athletes with name, image, and likeness opportunities and contracts. Don't miss out on profitable NIL opportunities. Their agents can help educate you on the NIL process Go to www.pasportsagency.com. They're one of our premier sponsors here tonight. Wade Marskill and all the wonderful people over there. Great people to work with. So first down again, 6:45 to go in this one. Maryland marching, trying. They have not had the lead yet tonight. But it would go a long way here to getting the lead late in this game, as this time pushed back by the front line of Pennsylvania. And nowhere to go in that one by Sean Williams Jr., who has a touchdown tonight.
Right, and again, you're starting to see, this Maryland offense that's going to that steady but sure-handed first downs. They're getting those first, not the big plays, but they've taken over time of possession right now.
There was Samaj Bridgman again out of Imhotep leading the charge on that stop at the line of scrimmage. Second down, 10. Straight back, Johnson throwing deep. Covered well downfield. Nothing doing that time, and Johnson threw it deeper and made sure he didn't throw an interception.
Yeah, and that's just a simple go route, and you saw the corner on that side doing exactly what they need to do. You got to get on your horses. Many times the receivers are the quickest on the offense, and on the defense, it's the cornerbacks, and that's what I played as well. And you have to be able to know what's going on when a go route comes, and you get on your horse and you take off, and then have good technique, forcing the receiver to one area, and that is to the outs, to the sideline, and to get that help over top.
Two
Good
receivers
defense.
either side this time. Johnson going to run it himself. Johnson right up the middle. Oh, what a tackle. Johnson taken out. And again, it was Samaj Bridgman.
But look at the play from Johnson, though. Look at the guts and the play from Johnson.
It was a running play from the start. Take a look at that. Quarterback's draw. And then Samaj Bridgman right there.
Bridgman made an amazing play. It's fourth down. This is big for both teams right here.
Johnson just might keep it again here. Let's see. He's got Sean Williams in there with him. And timeout on the field. And that's going to be for Maryland. Make that for Pennsylvania instead. And so this is the play. This is the game right here, maybe. Still 5:08 to go in this one, however.
Now, again, those splits from tackle to tackle may not exceed 3 feet. So, again, if you have it rated at 3 feet, there are big splits, and the defense must accommodate that, so then they spread out a little bit, which gives you running lanes like this. So that's the one thing that we saw from Johnson that's a little different from other quarterbacks on the Maryland roster, his ability to run the ball. And that saps your defense. When you've done very well first down, second down, and then you have a scrambling quarterback that can get a first down, you have to now account for him big time at the end of the game.
We talked about Samaj Bridgman at the beginning of the show. You can see why it was all Adidas and all everything. I mean, these guys really making some sticks here late in the game. Hey, by the way, the UPMC Orthopedic Care Team treats, trains, and inspires athletes at any age. To learn more, visit upmc.com/CentralPAOrtho. Man, we've got ourselves a football game here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. One of the better ones over the years here.
Absolutely. And you brought it up, too. The tackling has been, I mean, they are hitting each other. I mean, this is some sound, solid football, and these kids are going to be sore.
Yeah, this is the NFL All-Star game here. No. This is something else, right? I mean, these guys
they're going to come out sore from being in the Big 33. They're going to come out sore.
This is the granddaddy of high school football All-Star games. Big fourth down coming up right here. Johnson looks. Johnson throwing for the whole bunch. Johnson downfield and throws it out of bounds on fourth down and 3. Were you a little surprised that he went for the big hit?
You know, not necessarily surprised of the big hit. I was surprised maybe by that play of the big hit.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's corners have been doing very well, especially the latter part of the second half. The first half, they got burned a little bit on deep balls, but the second half, especially recently, not so much. They've been ready. So I think that play could have been a little predictable. Pennsylvania was ready for it, but there's still time on the clock. So 5:02, there's still time.
For Pennsylvania, do they go to the ground now? Are you trying to protect the lead? In a normal game, you'd say, well, yeah, but in an all-star game, not so sure.
And the key then is, can you be successful on the ground? Because we've seen what Maryland defensively has been able to do against the run lately. So
they really have.
Can they actually be successful running the ball on the ground will determine a lot for PA. And again, you want to 5 minutes. You want to chew that clock down if you can.
This hasn't been a night of sustained drives, by the way. It's been a night of big plays, and that's what you're looking for here. So for Pennsylvania? Are you looking at the big play mentality here? Or are you looking to kind of grind it out? You think they're probably going to try to eat some clock here?
Yeah. A combination of both. If the big play is there, if the coaches see it, and they can look at the defense and say, hey, this may work and it can turn into a big play, go for it. Sometimes big plays are manufactured from plays that you don't know if will be a big play and the player makes it. So, it could come both ways.
Here comes Pennsylvania. And it's still, there must have been a penalty of some kind again.
Yeah, we missed it. So Maryland keeps the ball.
1st and 10. Maryland still has the ball. And apparently, again, I think there was a rules violation based on the number of rules they have in this game.
That would be an automatic first down, though?
It is. Automatic first down.
Now, I wonder if we can get some sideline info on this.
Let's have Mark check that out. There's that pitch back again by Johnson with 2 hands, and this time brought down from behind. He pitched it back, and he had number 23 available on that. And again, that was Bryce Cox, but Cox got brought down in the backfield. 4:38 to go in this one now. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I know why.
And let's go down to Mark McKenzie. Mark, what happened down there? Why did they get the first down after looking like they turned the ball
Yeah, the
over?
ref explained to me that when it's 4th and 2, the linebackers are allowed to come up. But it was 4th and 3, and they didn't. The linebackers were up, so
there you go.
That's the rule that was broken.
Violation of those rules. Again, thanks so much, Mark, right on top of it. 2nd down, 10. Johnson looking. Johnson throws. He's got a man open in the end zone, and he overthrows him. Wide open in the end zone.
Wow.
He was being rushed. I mean, he had to get rid of that, but he had his man down there. He was looking all the way downfield there.
Wide open. And I'll tell you what, when you get a play like that, you'll circle it again and be like, hey, we may want to come back to this one because this was wide open. And Johnson, I know, and he's played so well, especially
really
on this drive. This has been the Johnson drive to me, and he definitely would want that back.
And the happiest guy in the field was Donovan Walker because he was back there for Pennsylvania, and he was beat. He's made some good plays tonight as Walker, including an interception, but on that one, he was beat. 3rd down, 10. Johnson going to keep it himself. That same quarterback sneak again. Quarterback in the middle. Johnson trying to get inside the 20. Inside the 20 to 15. Johnson steps out of bounds near the 10-yard line. Again, that quarterback draw. And Johnson, with his feet, getting a big first down here for Maryland as they're marching toward a touchdown. 3:38 to go in this one.
This is the Johnson drive. And again, you have those splits. You give the quarterback an opportunity to take the lane, and now the defense must account for him. It's the 4th quarter. Players from Pennsylvania defensively maybe a little bit tired, and now you have to account for quarterback that's really showing what he can do, and now you're seeing him kind of dictate the offense for Maryland.
The quarterback for Charles Flowers, where Damian Powell, the head coach of Maryland, is the head coach. And here you got a little trickery. Trying to get to the outside. Going to get around the corner, spins, not doing it, no. Pennsylvania smells it out. It was Leatherberry coming around the far side on a kind of a double handoff there, end around, and big stick. And who was it there on top of the plate? Terrell Reynolds once again.
Absolutely, and you got a chance to see Pennsylvania's defensive speed, their flow to the ball. They weren't fooled on the double reverse, and they flowed well to the ball and make the tackle.
Terrell Reynolds was normally in for the sacks, that time going laterally and making the play along the sideline. 2nd down and 8 now, ball at the 10-yard line. Johnson keeps it again. Johnson doing it with his feet. Johnson dances inside the 10, dives for the end zone. Johnson, touchdown!
Wow.
8-yard run for Sean Johnson. He did it with his feet on this series. Wow.
The timing of Johnson executing what he did this drive was huge because, again, you see Pennsylvania a little bit tired, and then I do believe there's a player. Did somebody celebrate and get hurt? I think there was a player from Maryland that may have celebrated and actually may have hurt themselves.
So Alan Zalin now to try to get the field goal lead. You never want to know that, to get hurt celebrating. That's embarrassing,
right? All I saw was someone go down. They were celebrating and bam, and I'm like, oh, no, not that way.
That's a kick down, and that one with authority up through the middle, and it is 27-24 Maryland, who has lost 3 straight to Pennsylvania, on the verge of maybe going home with a W. They're leading by 3, and Pennsylvania with 2:29 to try to answer. We're going to go down to Mark McKenzie here in just a moment. He gets a chance to get with Sean Johnson.
I do. I've got him.
And Mark is with Sean Johnson, and Mark, take it away, the quarterback sneak.
Sean, tell us about the play.
Oh, well, we had called that play a couple times. First half wasn't working how we wanted to. That play, we got through the hole, we got ready, and got, damn, my bad. We got through the hole, line blocked it up well, and we got in the end zone. Wide receiver block. Good job by the whole team.
So anything you want to say to folks back home?
Coach back home? My coach here, you hear me? My head coach here. What's up, coach?
Way to go. Congratulations.
Sean Johnson's my head coach is here, Damian Powell.
Absolutely.
And doing a great job, so there you go.
Now, 2:29 on the clock.
Right.
Pennsylvania has a lot of time. They do. They have playmakers on the outside. They have quarterbacks that can throw the ball, and they have offensive line. So now you got to settle down. Maryland took the momentum. You got to get it back.
Now you start to think about a few names here, like Jameel Perryman, who's back there right now. Also another guy named Sincere Smith, who's back there right now.
And we know big play-wise,
Exactly.
on return specifically, they can do damage. So, again, if you're Maryland, do you kick it to them?
And they both have touchdowns tonight so far.
Do you kick it to them, or
Yeah.
do you kick it out of bounds and try to make Pennsylvania do the hard road to get to the end zone?
And then you got Kenny Johnson there. You're going to bring him in on wide receiver, I'm sure. So here's Maryland kicking off. Zhao's going to do the honors. And where do you kick this? That's the question.
Away.
If 8 or 0 catch it, get ready for the circus.
Okay.
Big kick downfield. I think it's Sincere Smith that has it. Smith coming near side. Smith shoots. Smith goes back the other way. Look out. Here comes Smith again. And actually it's Perryman with it. And a high tackle there, but I don't think they're going to call it.
Right.
Out to the 30-yard line. So it was Perryman with it, wearing number 0.
And that's a decent return. And, again, you don't want the momentum return, the returns that get the Pennsylvania fan base and sidelines up going. You don't want that. And that's you kind of got a little bit of that. Some excitement there. And now PA, 2:19 left. A lot of time to do something on this field right now.
29-yard return sets it up at the 30-yard line. And Pennsylvania with the football. Johnson's out on the far side. He's number 14. Guy you'd think they'd be looking at. Not going to be a lot of running plays coming up here with 2:19 to go, and they need to cover some territory. There goes Johnson in motion. Everybody's looking at number 14, that number. Downfield it goes, and deep look, and it's too deep. Johnson ran a different route. He ran it to the inside, and the quarterback was looking to the outside.
And it was good. It was a good thing that it was too deep, because if it wasn't, that would have been picked and probably ended the game. So that actually was a good thing for Pennsylvania, for it to be as deep as it was.
Anthony Hawkins was sitting back there waiting for it out of Broadneck High School. Yeah. So it'll be second down now, 10. And I think the problem is everybody knows Johnson's the one they're looking for, so maybe you have to look elsewhere in this whole series. Another throw, and again, another route cut short. That time was Perryman, and so they're a little bit off the page right now, as Colin O'Sullivan was looking for Perryman, and Perryman just cut short. Looked like he was running like a button hook instead of going deep.
So that communication is not there. Doing go routes on 2 consecutive plays when you have the time you have on the clock, you don't need to do that. So, again, there's a disconnect. They have to get back on the same page.
Now you have to think about a first down.
Yep.
Third down here in 10. Ball at the 32-yard line. O'Sullivan straight back. O'Sullivan looks across. Has a man on the sideline. A step out, and now you're at basically game time right now, maybe.
Yeah, you are, and you talked about it, the first down. Like the last drive that Maryland had, you saw them focus on moving the chains. That's what they did. Focus on moving the chains. They had semi-big plays, but they moved the chains. And Pennsylvania went for 3 different times, or twice, going deep, trying to get big plays.
Joaquin Page with that catch. So 4th down and 7. Here we are. Could be the game on the line here. And a timeout for Maryland. 1:46 to go in this one. Maryland with a timeout. Pennsylvania down to maybe their last play here offensively, because if Maryland gets it back, there's not going to be any hurry in any offense there. So what's the play going to be here? So, Jerome, what would you call?
Well, you know, and I'm going to go back to something that Perryman said in the first half, I believe. He talked about crossing routes, doing different things that will get movement so that players can possibly get rubbed open. And again, you need a first down. You need, you know, it's fourth down and about 6.
Time.
So it's possession time. So doing something that can rub to get some get active with your receivers and maybe rub some guys in coverage, get some confusion back there, and then deliver the ball. Again, the defense can't blitz, so they can only rush and it's man on man. So they're going to sit the rest back in coverage.
Well, hang on to your seats. Here we go. No one's left this for the night here at the stadium. Pennsylvania, Maryland, Big 33. A tradition continues. Maryland trying to win this one. 1:46 to go. Pennsylvania 4th and 7. And it's intercepted. Down the sideline it goes for Maryland. Intercepted, and Maryland dances into the end zone, and maybe, but in the end of the game, but we've got a penalty flag back up here, and they're maybe bringing this one back. Boy, it looked like Maryland was putting it away.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see this play. And, you know, again, like you said, the route was an interesting combination, but it's holding, and that's the right call. And this gives Pennsylvania an automatic first down.
And a 15-yard penalty, probably.
Yep.
27-24 Maryland. Huge play there. You thought it was the end of the game, but you saw Johnson. It looked like he was getting held there. Everybody in the world knew it was coming to him. It was a possession play.
Yep.
They were trying to throw it about 12 yards, 13 yards down the field.
And sometimes you get defensive backs, they get a little handsy. And you get handsy when people are making moves. Those receivers are making moves, and you got to try to refrain from doing that. And sometimes it goes both ways too. You see receivers do the same thing.
Devin Malloy, the one who picked it off, but he's also caught for the foul. And so here we are now, 1st and 10, 1:34 to go in this one. Pennsylvania with the ball, a new life at their own 45-yard line. O'Sullivan looks across the middle. There's Johnson. Johnson down the near sideline. Did he step out? That's the question. Johnson all the way down. Johnson with a touchdown.
And I said crossing routes, getting movement with the receivers to spring open as opposed to going deep downfield. So there you go. You get Johnson on a crossing route. You have to be able to run with him.
Are there any
and now
flags?
there's
a flag down right outside the 15-yard line, and let's see what the call is.
Once again, a late flag, too. This came late, just like the flag that came earlier in the game was a late flag. Makes it kind of confusing on where you go with it.
Okay, so does the touchdown count? That's the question. Mike Farr is out there.
I think they're going to get...
It's against Pennsylvania.
Yep, the helmet. Do they call helmet to helmet or defenseless player? There was a nasty block that took place. And I'm wondering if that's what the call was.
Yes. And for our viewers, this game will continue on big33.org. That's big33.org. We're going to switch over to there right now. And now Pennsylvania with the football, 1st and 10. Ball's at the 31-yard line. Timeout for Pennsylvania again now, and welcome to the stream as we bring you the last 1:24 this one. So Pennsylvania with the football, 1:24 to go, Jerome.
And you know what's hard about that play, Gary? The block didn't need to happen.
Right.
Johnson was not getting caught. Johnson was in the open field. He was going to score. So that block, I know that you were juiced up, but that's a block you didn't need to make. And looking at the replay, Johnson comes across the field, exactly what I said needed to happen. The first block's okay. It's this one right here. There's no need for that. If that is the penalty, then there was no need for that.
And I'm thinking that might be it. And he separated out, and I don't know if there was leverage involved or any of that
Right,
kind of stuff.
and again, it didn't seem that it was helmet to helmet. I mean, looking at it, it seemed like but now we know what the rules. It's different. You know, it's about protecting players. Right. And again, if there's a defenseless player,
not college or the pros here too. It's a high
everywhere.
School game,
It's everywhere.
Although all these guys are going to college, most of them are going to college next year. So.
But a block that didn't need to happen. Nobody's going to catch Johnson. That just wasn't going to happen.
And was that Perryman that threw the block there? That's a big question.
And that's hard. He's playing hard. He's making a play, and he's playing hard. And I know in his mind he's thinking, look, I'm playing football.
Well, and remember, too, they've got a pretty good foot there on their side that could tie this up as well. So the field goal, we were watching this guy banging them in from 40-some yards out there. So here we go. Pennsylvania. First down and 10, 31-yard line. Touchdown wiped off the board from Kenny Johnson. I think these last 5 or so minutes have been played in like 30 minutes. So here we go again. O'Sullivan has his man in motion. Throws for the end zone deep. Got a man down there. Is it a touchdown?
Yep.
Wow.
And
who did they catch again? Kenny Johnson. It's going to be unsportsmanlike after a touchdown. He threw the ball down and taunted, I believe. But Johnson with the catch for the touchdown. What a throw by O'Sullivan to Johnson in the end zone.
That was just amazing. And again, you know, the defense was there. So you saw just an amazing play, amazing throw. Offensive line did their job. And let's give credit to the big guys up front for PA. You got Isaiah Kearns, 6 foot 270, going to Charleston. You got Naquan Crowder from Aliquippa. That's the big guy, 6'4", 340. You got Anthony Cassius, Exeter Township, going to Delaware.
But
Texas
Johnson,
A&M.
And Johnson was the focal point this whole time, and they still couldn't stop him.
Couldn't stop him.
Scored 2 touchdowns.
Couldn't
Only
stop him.
counted 1. But what a pass, though, from O'Sullivan to Johnson in the